Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 3 of the Top of the World Series semifinal playoff series between the Anchorage Bucs and the Matsu Miners. I'm Shawnee, alongside Reese Lannon as always, and it's win or go home for both of these teams. They're either going to the championship to take on the Pilots, or you're going home and your season is over.
Well, the Miners are going to send a right-hander Wyatt Tucker to the mound in order to combat that and make it to the championship series. The Pilot series would start tomorrow, so they're ready to go today. Wyatt Tucker to the mound, and he's been one of the better starters in the ABL this year. On the year for Wyatt Tucker, he comes in making 6 starts. This will be his 7th with a 3.20 ERA in 25 and a third innings. Struck out 22, a 1-1 record.
He has plenty of support as well. Miners pretty much primed in every relief position. The only one that they won't have available for today is Tyler Wosner. But Winkler, Majors, Floyd, Wolf, whoever they should need, they'll have him. But Tucker getting off to a start that can carry them at least 5 innings is going to be a major focus today.
Yeah, they need some longevity out of him. Certainly, don't want to let the game get away from him quickly. And this will be the lineup that the visiting Bucs send out to face him. Leading off at second base is Woody Haydeen. Batting second in left field, Jack Mactoff. Batting third and behind the plate, the first time last night he was. Now back-to-back days, Cole Moore. Batting fourth at third base, Diego Vaquero, who's been a minor killer through the first couple of games. Batting fifth in right field, Carson Rocafort. Batting sixth at first base, Jake Skipworth. In the 7-hole at shortstop, Tyson Donahue batting 8th and DHing Xavier Pinales, and rounding out the lineup batting 9th in center field, Garrett Ostrander. Jojo Ingracia is on the mound, comes in with a 3.99 ERA, second in the ABL in strikeouts.
Miners also representing a fairly similar lineup, but they do have some adjustment around the heart, trying to mix things up and get it going. We'll get your starting lineup to you after the national anthem, as we're about to have a presentation here. So please take a moment and respect the flag and the national anthem, and we'll be right back with your lineup after a short break. Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field, getting ready after our first pitch was thrown out by Maurice Abel, a Miners alumni and a host parent somebody who's well connected with the team. And of course, our national anthem was once again sung by Wolfgang's beautiful voice and the crowd themselves. But this is all in on both sides. Every Miner, every Buck knows that they have to lay it all on the line here or their season's over. For the Miners, they're trotting out a somewhat new lineup. Still leading off is Holden Breeze, their second baseman. In the 2-hole today, Casey Rother, the third baseman, is getting bumped up. Nick Sorelli back in the 3-hole in his designated hitter role today. Batting cleanup's going to be the catcher Tyler Rando. Moving up a slight bit is their first baseman Aaron Walters into the 5-hole. And Tyler Wilson is now back near the bottom of the lineup after playing hero in Game 1. In the 7-hole, it's going to be center fielder Patrick Donovan. In the 8-hole, it's going to be right fielder Ricky Nunez. And as always, David Bermudez, their shortstop, grounding it out.
This Bucs lineup can score runs, and the key for Tucker is to keep him in it right away. He's got to throw up zeros consistently, at least in the beginning. The Miners have not led in this series besides that walk-off hit by Tyler Wilson. They have never led for more than, I guess, technically a third of an inning. Bucs have taken the lead pretty much the entire way besides a few ties, but they got to get on the board early today. They've had problems scoring runs early, specifically yesterday. They scored a couple in Game 1, but it took them until the 9th inning to score again, obviously, in that big comeback. So a big thing for him today, Jojo Ingracia, who obviously is number 2 in the ABL in strikeouts, but he's been more hittable lately. First half of the year, his ERA was under 2.5, and as we've gone through the second half of the year, that ERA is just a tick under 4. So he's been more hittable, and they got to score runs quickly.
That's going to be a major emphasis for the Miners. Yesterday, only 2 hits across their entire roster, both coming from David Bermudez. You can't afford to score any runs, no matter how well you walk, if you're not going to hit the ball and put it in play. Woody Hadeen leading us off here. The second baseman who hasn't made as much of an impact as the rest of this lineup, but someone who could still be a very annoying presence on the bats.
Hadeen does not have a hit in either game this series.
Starts off with the ball. Tucker doesn't have as much wildness to his pitch as a Seahorse might, but he does still have an occasional walk issue. If that's something he can keep under control here, he could get off to a good start, but now in a 2-0 count.
Yeah, not the count you really want to be in. He didn't actually check me. He did have a hit yesterday. 1 for 4. Also scored a run.
Not going to swing. There's the first strike for Tucker's day.
And I think that could be a sign of things to come. That pitch looked a little bit off the plate, but maybe an expanded zone all day long, as that was the first strike.
We've seen different zones in each of the first 2 games. This one shot right back past Tucker. There's going to be a single to lead him off. Woody Hadeen gets his first hit of the day, his second in the series.
It's a big knock to lead things off. The Bucs putting runners on quickly, and as this lineup goes, it's 2, 3, and 4 really driving in the runs. Macdoff, Moore, Vaquero, those are by far their biggest run producers.
Vaquero, before this playoff series had begun, has really not been an offensive threat against the Miners, but since coming to Herman Brothers has exploded. Macdoff now, after the softly hit single right up the middle, will be looking to advance Hadeen.
Macdoff yesterday had a 1 for 4 day.
He taps the first pitch. Ricky Nunez going back in right field. Gets under it pretty easily. He's in his tracks and a nice throw to second base.
Made a loud sound off the bat, but right at Ricky Nunez as he had to straggle back a couple of steps. 1 away, Cole Moore.
Quick out on Macdoff leads to Moore. Moore, of course, had a big 2 RBI single in the first game. Somebody who's really had to step up. With Pinales taking a shot near the hand, he's been asked to step behind the plate and has done his part, only allowing 1 wild pitch yesterday.
Moore had a hit yesterday, just a 1 for 4. He can run into baseballs, though, and you've got to be careful if you're Tucker.
Tucker's checking on Hadeen at first.
Walters over again at first today. Thought maybe we could see a guy off the bench, Kevin Nakamura, Mike Ferreira taking a DH spot today. Sorelli over to first with a lefty on the mound, but they stick with Wally on first, so he'll get a chance to hit lefty-lefty in the 5-hole.
I I think Ty LeBron really does like this group of hitters. We might see a pinch hitter like we did initially with Ricky Nunez yesterday, but we're going to have to wait and see. He starts Cole Moore with the ball as well, really attacking the outside of these left-handed hitters so far.
Just got to corral it in the zone. He's got the stuff to get him by Cole Moore, but the question is, can he locate it?
That pitch located too low, ball 2.
This middle of the lineup produces more runs than really anybody, and that's the case on most teams. Obviously, you want your middle of the order hitters driving in the most runs, but I mean, it is a sharp contrast to the rest of the order.
He tries to get into this one, only fouls it off near his foot. It's a pretty much all or nothing give when it comes to their heart of their lineup. They have 4 players that drive in majority of their RBIs. Outside of that, it's a whole lot of 1s and 0s and maybe a 2.
Even their 5-hitter, Carson Rocafort, had just 5 RBIs on the year. It's not like he was a part-time player. He played in 33 games during the regular season.
Tucker still checking out Haydeen at first.
Yeah, Haydeen can swipe bags with the best of them, and that's the reason he's getting so much attention. Haydeen, 10 for 12 this year on steals.
A pretty solid rate. Hardly ever getting thrown out. He also gets into this one. Cole Moore sending back Patrick Donovan, heading to the wall as that one's gone. A round tripper in the first inning once again.
Ball was crushed.
A minor early blow, once again trailing in the early innings after allowing another deep shot. Both Aggie pitchers starting on the mound get lit up in the first inning.
Not the start the Miners wanted, to say the least.
Instead, there will be no one on base, and Diego Vaquero, the cleanup hitter, will walk up to the plate. Didn't seem like the most hammered baseball, but just continued to carry. Patrick Donovan could only look as he ranged back. Now Vaquero hoping to carry the momentum after a devastating early morale shot to the Miners. Not too many Anchorage fans that did travel up, but there's still some filling out the guest side. And they're being quite vocal, as opposed to an already quiet Herman Brothers. Follows it up with a strike there, 1-1. Miners lucky to be in their home whites today, as it's the hottest day of the summer in my opinion. It's beating down, closing in on 80, high 70s here in Palmer.
It's a hot one, appropriately. One of the hottest days of the year is one of the biggest games of the year. Actually, the biggest game of the year for the Miners. Could go home with a loss.
1-2 count. He does take a big swing, whiffed on that one. Strikeout gets the second out of the inning. Now it'll be up to the 5-hole hitter, Carson Rocafort.
Rocafort just 5 RBIs on the year, as I said earlier, but he swings a middling bat in the middle of their order. He's okay, hitting around 250 on the year.
Rocafort does suffer from some of the same issues Vaquero does as a hitter. He'll attack high, he'll attack outside the zone. He just wants to try and swing it most. If he's going to stay in a battle at the plate, it's going to be with foul balls. Does start off with a pitch inside, though. Ball 1.
Rocafort 0 for 4 line yesterday.
A good strike on the breaking ball. That one able to land in the corner. And a 2-run deficit is obviously not the start they wanted, but definitely not over demanding to ask from this Miners offense. They have been red hot when the season was ending, and then pretty cold to start the first 2 games here. I'll have to find some middle ground as Wyatt Tucker has worked his way to a 1-2 count. This one put up in the air into foul ground, no play.
Rocafort has 1 hit this series. He's 1 for 8, but his 1 hit was a big blow in Game 1, a 2-run double, but thankfully the Miners were able to come back and take it.
Gonna need an early response here as well if they want to make this competitive. Tucker trying to just touch the corners, instead goes high and away. Tucker simply hoping to get out of this inning quickly. Rocafort able to lay off ball 3.
3-2 on Rocafort if he were to reach base. Jake Skipworth stands in the on-deck circle. Skipworth yesterday had a couple of hits. He was the only Buck, in fact, to have multiple hits.
There's the strikeout he was looking for on the full count. Couldn't help but lay off the slider as Wyatt Tucker manages to get out of the inning after allowing a 2-run bomb.
Miners got to get some runs back. They can't kind of prance around and stay off the scoreboard. They got to get right back on it. This is obviously a 9-inning game. You got 9 innings to make the championship.
This is no time to simply lay back and watch the action. Miners need to get aggressive. We'll be back with the bottom of the first and the Miners' first hacks of the game. Who's going to be a hero? We'll have to wait and see. We're back here at Herman Brothers Field, and before we get ready for the bottom of the first, a few announcements. There's no smoking or vapor cigarettes or tobacco in the ballpark. It's a smoke tobacco-free zone. Of course, with it being Alaska Fair property, there's no going under or around the fence here at Herman Brothers. That would be trespassing, and of course, always remember to recycle. Leading off for the Miners will be second baseman Holden Breeze, somebody who's really trying to find his footing at the plate.
Breeze yesterday, 0 for 3, did have a walk. But yeah, he's been struggling a bit at the plate, to say the least, lately.
Trying to attack here early does put him down in the count 0-1.
Left-hander Ingracia obviously has a 3.99 ERA. As I said, he hasn't been as good in the second half of the year. He looks to kind of rebound here.
Ball low that time, 1-1. Miners gonna have to attack Ingracia early and get to the bullpen in order to stay competitive, as the Bucs seem like they've shown up to hit. Another ball taken. Breeze now ahead, 2-1.
Ingracia's numbers, I mean, the walk rate isn't great, 18 walks and 38 in the third innings, but it's not terrible. I mean, he's only given up 34 hits. It's been the extra base hit that's really hurt him.
Gets a low strike, 2-2. Was able to use the fastball that time to just catch the corner of the bottom of the zone.
Ingracia still, despite being second in the ABL, does not have second in the ABL on strikeouts. Does not have a win this year.
This one also on the ground, awkwardly dribbled back to the mound. He's able to get the underhanded throw for the first out.
Easy play, 1 out, Casey Rother.
Initially, it looked like Breeze was hoping to go up the chute and repeat their own single, but now Casey Rother is going to have to look to create the Miners' first hit. Rother has been down in the 4 and 5 slot as of recently. Today, moving him up to the 2-hole. Hopefully, he can come into some traffic early.
Rother has been on the bases quite a bit this series. Yesterday, had a couple of walks. He watches ball 1 there. It was 8 walks yesterday. for this Bucs pitching staff, including 7 by Mitchell Scott, but just 2 hits. They had their chances. 5th, 6th, 7th inning, had guys on third base, but couldn't bring them around.
Rother now ahead 2-0. Took 2 walks yesterday. Maybe looking to start his day the same way and get the legs moving for the Miners.
His walk issues hampered Scott. He threw 112 pitches in just 6 innings.
As Rother does turn on this one, but it's right into the glove of Carson Rocafort in right field. Dies, and we have our second out. Miners still seeming somewhat uninspired at the plate right now.
They need Nick Sorelli to get it going in the box. And yesterday he had a couple of walks as well, also scored a run. But hasn't really ran into too many balls this series. Has just 1 hit.
Takes a ball on the inside, breaking action. Looks like it could have moved back. Nice job by Sorelli to lay off.
1-0 in the count. Tyler Rando would be next if it got to him.
There's the strike. Same pitch, just moved it a little over this time.
The Bucs in their alternate black jerseys today. The Miners in their home whites.
JoJo can't find the zone. 2-1.
San Diego State product, JoJo Ingracia. Just finished his freshman year at SDSU, where he pitched a lot for him.
Sorelli takes strike 2. We're back to even. If pattern persists, we'll have ball 3 and back to full. Sorelli laying off the spiked pitch. That's full count.
Gracia does have 18 walks on the year, as I said, so he's not the greatest at limiting the base on balls, but it's not to the point where he's like crazy wild or anything. And a 3-2 count now. Sorelli, who does it better than anyone, will probably just be looking for something in his zone. He's one of the few hitters who rarely goes outside the strike zone to swing at a potential strike 3.
You got to be nearly perfect to put away Sorelli. Full count pitch. As this one comes in and not only misses the zone, but hits him on the shoulder.
Came up and got him.
Yeah, Sorelli takes one on the shoulder. Miners get their first man on. And now they'll see if they can follow it up with their first hit with Tyler Rando coming to the ditch.
Rando striding in off a day yesterday where he did not have a hit. He's another guy who struggled a bit with the bat this series. Just 1 for 7 so far, but hit really well during the regular season, so you got to think there is potential in that bat.
Somebody has to wake up this Miners offense, who really seem like they need a spark of energy. Not going to get it on that pitch.
It remains to be seen about who's in the Bucs bullpen. Spencer Bengard, who's their top reliever, has not thrown yet. You got to think the only 2 guys crossed off are going to be Mitchell Scott and then Will Kempner.
JoJo continues to struggle finding the zone. He's starting behind another batter.
Alex Rios and Zach Heaton, who worked the 8th and 9th innings yesterday, threw less than 10 pitches, so they're likely available. David Christie threw 22 pitches, so not really sure about his availability, but the Bucs in general have most of their thin bullpen intact.
This is 3 straight balls. JoJo really struggling here as he continues to verge towards another walk.
Maybe something center cut here?
Possibly. He seems to only have the best location with his fastball right now, and he still hits the bottom of the zone. But he can't find it. Even with that fastball, there's a 4-pitch walk to Tyler Rando.
And these are situations right now where the Miners could not do anything yesterday. Runners on base, 2 outs. They scuffled yesterday. Aaron Walters coming in. This is a big spot for him.
If they want to prove that they're a different ball club from yesterday, they're going to have to take advantage of runners in scoring position.
Just 2 hits yesterday. And walks are nice, obviously. They're the same as singles when you look at them from the base-to-base standpoint, but a hit, there's just something with it. There's more energy, there's more jumping around, and getting a hit here obviously has the chance to play to run. A walk does not.
It also creates that kind of chaos that you need, that they have to field the ball and get it back into the diamond. Single here if put in the gap, could easily score Sorelli.
JoJo and Gracia, already 18 pitches through 4 batters.
He's not speed running through this inning whatsoever. 2 outs in the inning so far, but now 2 men aboard, both with the walk. And Gracia is taking his time before this first pitch. And finally gets back to the strike zone.
Right fielder Rocafort is playing way over towards the line. I mean, anything in that gap, bloop-wise, is easily going to drop.
Played that same line yesterday and ended up catching a shot from Ricky Nunez. So
However, Ostrander is playing fairly shallow in center field.
Walters takes ball 1. Runners take back their spot on the lead. It's a 1-1 count.
Sorelli's got a pretty solid lead off of second. There are good arms in this Buck outfield, so you do have to worry about that.
The Angelo State Ram waiting on the 1-1 pitch. This one fouled off as well, the back screen this time. We want to thank the sponsor of the 2021 Matsu Miners Summer Clinic, Alaska USA Federal Credit Union.
Walters yesterday, 0 for 4, wasn't able to reach the bags. Did have a couple of hits, including a leadoff single in the 9th inning, which helped prompt the comeback in game number 1. So a 2 for 8 line to end this series.
A shot just like that could go a long way for the Miners right now. Would head right over his head at short, but instead he collects it right in front of the bag. The shading job from the Bucks ended up cutting off the chute. Nothing for Walters to get through.
Bucks had him played perfectly, and had there been a right-handed batter up there, that ball would have got through because Hayden was technically supposed to be the one holding Sorelli on the bag, so he had him played perfectly. If he's back in his normal position, that's into center field and probably scoring Sorelli.
Defensive adjustment pays off for the Bucks. Because of them, Miners still can't take advantage of that opportunity. We're through 1. Miners trail early 2-0. We'll be back with the second inning of action after a short break here at Herman Brothers Field. Make sure you stick around. We're back for our second inning of action here at Herman Brothers Field. Leading off this inning, number 26, the first baseman for today, Jake Skipworth, coming up for the Bucks.
Skipworth, as I said earlier, had a couple of hits yesterday. Striding in now. Wasn't able to score a run, though.
There's a nice strike from Tucker. The second inning here could be a chance to prove how far he'll be able to go, whether or not that first inning score is just a blip on the radar or some more of the same. As he's really challenging Skipworth, getting him with a good breaking pitch in the dirt.
0-2. Skipworth's going to have to fight back.
The pitchers count 0-2. Can't get the offer, no fishing on this weekend.
It's probably a good pitch. On an 0-2 pitch, that's about as good of a waste pitch as you can get. That offering there. maybe entice a swing on Skipworth, but he'll go back in at 1-2.
He does get him on 1-2. He swings away. Tucker with his third strikeout of the game.
Able to get him there. That's another good pitch. Buried that in the dirt. Even if that misses, I mean, that's a good waste pitch, and obviously it pays off as he gets the strikeout.
Tucker's breaking ball just seems to die. It stops its motion entirely when it gets to the plate and just simply falls off a cliff. The amount of movement he gets on that has to be one of the best on the team.
We've talked about Diego Vaquero's strikeout issues. Jake Skipworth is right up there with him as well. He's struck out 26 times during the regular season. 139 at-bats, so not a terrible rate, but he does strike out a little bit.
Starting off his at-bat with a ball is Tyson Donahue, the shortstop who ended the bottom of the first for the Miners with a nice shading job. He gets further ahead now, helping himself out 2-0. Tucker needs to try and get ahead of this hitter. There's 3 straight balls.
3-0, I would bet the house Carson Donahue is not going to offer here. And on deck is Xavier Pinales, who came off the bench yesterday to have a pinch hit RBI single.
A 3-0 count. Tucker, no room for error now. Likely no offer from the hitter. And he's going to give him a free base on that one.
Yeah, working that walk. Probably not the at-bat you wanted for Wyatt Tucker after striking out Skipworth on just 4 pitches.
His first walk in the game is going to prompt a visit from Rando to the mound.
We'll get Pinales now, who has a home run against the Miners this year, and he, as we said yesterday, really turned it up late in the year. Got his average over 205 after sitting around the 110 mark for a lot of the year. So he's been getting things together. Not a guy who's going to strike out a whole lot.
They could really use a hit from him here. If you're the Miners, on the other hand, you'd like to take advantage of some of that infield speed. A double play ball would work perfectly, especially with how much his breaking ball is moving.
No double play balls yet for either team this series, as we're an inning, a little bit over an inning into Game 3.
Only double play we've seen was on a line drive that was thrown back to first. Not your usual double play action.
1-0 as Tucker has been struggling to find the zone. That's 5 straight balls for him.
The last 2 have really seemed to get away from even Rando. He needs to take a breath and try and reel whatever pitch you're most confident with back into the zone. He still can't seem to find it.
2-0. Pinales thought about swinging. He didn't offer. And you're Wyatt Tucker. You really got to get a strike in there. This is the bottom of the order. This is the same issue that Darwin Matos had yesterday with the bottom of the order of the Bucs lineup.
This one is put on the ground, but it's into foul ground.
Yeah, that ball was hit really hard, just skipping a little bit into foul territory. Walters would have had it, though, had it been in fair territory, assuming he could glove it. That was a screamer.
Instead, Pinales, and it's back to a 2-1. Gets another strike. That's a big one for Wyatt Tucker.
That's a really good spot at the bottom of the zone. Backdoor breaking ball, breaking back over the plate at the knees. Pinales, there's not much you can do with that.
Tucker now in a chance for a 4th strikeout on his day. This one just fouled off. He barely was able to find a piece of it.
Once again, the Pilots, the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, are awaiting the winner of this game. The Bucs can win this ball game. It would be both bottom seeds winning. After no playoff games being in Anchorage, there would be a playoff game back at Anchorage.
Quite the turnaround from what we expected initially. This one sent high in the air. Aaron Walters coming in, sending off all the other infielders as it's heading back again. Tyler Rando started thinking double play last second, but nothing to be made of it besides the out on the infield.
Yeah, that one kind of trailed back late. Walters had to kind of shift his shoulders and make sort of an over-the-shoulder grab, but he was able to snag it. 2 away, and it's Garrett Ostrander.
We'd also like to thank Mugshot Saloon, Palmer Bar, and Panhandle Bar in Tudor Bingo, your official sponsors of Matsu Miners pull tabs and gaming license usage in the Nugget Booster Club. Another pitch high and away. Tucker on the side seems to be struggling, but north and south he's doing well.
Ostrander yesterday had a productive day as he reached on an error and also a hit by pitch, or actually a walk rather, not a hit by pitch, and he scored 2 runs.
Ostrander ahead 2-0. The walk prowess that we've already seen in this series is flaring up again. 2 outs in the inning. Ostrander at the plate.
Good spot.
Finally able to find the zone again.
Really good spot there. Bottom of the zone. And that's been a point where the Bucs really haven't hit a lot of low pitches. A lot of their pitches hit for extra bases, base hits back up the middle. Those have been up in the zone throughout all 3 games.
This one on the ground past Bermudez, and that's going to be good for a single.
Like I said, another elevated pitch. This team can hit that elevated pitch, specifically the high fastball.
So move them along the assembly line. 1 bag for each of them. Donahue now at second.
Got to get out of this. I mean, if it goes longer than 2-0, Tyler LeBron's got to start thinking about the bullpen.
We've already seen a hit from Hayden in the game today. If Tucker can get out of this inning unscathed, that would be great for his confidence, but the Miners can't afford to keep playing on the edge like this.
Also, if Hayden reaches, I mean, he's still not out of the way because he's got the middle of the order.
This one is gloved. He throws to first. No, they call him safe.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Just safe. I cannot believe he called him safe.
Tucker had to make a hustle over to first as Hayden has plenty of speed, but it looked like he might have beat him by a step. The call stands at safe, and we're going to have a bit of a meeting between the first base umpire and what looks like Casey Sherman.
That's Tyler LeBron over there. So now the bases are loaded for potentially the best hitter in this lineup, Jack Mactoff. I mean, this is, you have to get out here if you're Wyatt Tucker. If you don't, this game could be busted open early. Have to get the out here.
The crowd starting to chant in a bases loaded situation. Miners already facing a major obstacle early in this game. There's ball 1.
This is not looking good for Wyatt Tucker. He's really got to bear down. Jack Mactoff is not going to be cheated. You have to throw him strikes.
Flew out to the right fielder in his first at-bat. Ricky Nunez had to make a play on that. This one is going to not get through.
Tyler Wilson just saved the day with a diving grab in left field. That ball was smoked.
We've already seen a spectacular grab in this series from Patrick Donovan. Tyler Wilson, you know he can do it with the bat. Now you know he can do it with the glove. The 5-tool athlete getting the Miners out of the second and hopefully setting up their offense for some production in the bottom of the second. We'll be right back with the Miners on the offensive side after a short break. Make sure you don't go anywhere. saw him make the play in the field. Now Tyler Wilson up with the bat for his first hacks of the game. Today in the 6 hole after being in the 2 hole for the longest time. Wilson waiting on his first pitch from Ingracia. Is another wild pitch outside the zone. Ingracia does seem to be having some problems with the walk issue. Already 2 in the first inning. Tyler Wilson swings away, can't find it, strike 1. Wilson is simply starting to get the Miners on in whatever way possible. Now he's doing it well with his eye.
Leadoff runner would be huge towards that regard. We've seen Wilson, Donovan, Nunez, all of them really hot lately.
There's another ball, 3-1.
I'm Tyler Wilson. I'm not taking the bat off the shoulder right now. I mean, Ingracia has not been, I guess you can say, the master of control so far. A lot of pitches way outside, not really competitive pitches either.
Now he's really seemed to struggle to find whatever he wants to put in play. Tyler Wilson just finds a piece of that one.
Foul ball. Full count, 3-2.
Miners have also had plenty of opportunities to score with 2 outs. Really kills their momentum and potential. And that's a huge out on strike swinging.
Goes down for out number 1, and now to be Patrick Donovan.
He had a 3-1 count and swung away and lost it. Now Patrick Donovan coming up to the plate.
Unfortunately for Wilson, that was probably ball 4 too.
Donovan had a lot of hard hit balls yesterday, but couldn't put one into fair ground. Kept fouling them away. Here's strike 1. Ingracia trying to work his first 2 scoreless innings. And he's getting some favorable calls. That's a bit of help from below the zone.
Not offering at either of the first 2. He's got to dig himself out now against a strikeout artist.
He's not going to offer high, but he has shown that he's not really swinging away at anything low, which is usually his cream of the crop, where he likes to pick up the majority of his hits. He does break off his bat, but the bat almost travels as far as the ball. That one's into foul ground.
The
just
entire
like
barrel. I mean, that bat split in half.
It's a clean shave job on that bat.
Let you know there is a credit card that is at the beer shack. Somebody left it there.
He's going to have to get a new bat.
Maybe a new bat will spark some real firepower from this Miners offense.
At the beer shack.
Ingracia so far is sitting at over 30 pitches. That's not really the biggest issue yet, but if he keeps rolling this way, it's going to kind of hurt his longevity. But, I mean, the way he's throwing right now, no runs, I mean, you can't really complain about that.
No, as long as he keeps men off the bags, you have no real reason to start questioning him. Donovan does get put down on strikes as well. That's another strikeout in the inning for Ingracia. The Miners still looking for some kind of semblance of offense.
Look asleep, quite honestly, right now at the plate. It's not looking great early.
This has been a group of dogs all year. Some people that don't like to give up a lead and never like to give up early. They just don't seem to get off to a hot start in this game.
Ricky Nunez strides into the plate now. 2 away. Looks to turn something around.
Ricky starts to go. Stopped himself, but there's still strike 1. The San Jacinto Community College gets called. It sounded like for strike 2 initially, but they call him off. Ball 1.
1-1 on Nunez, who stands in. We've said it before. He saw the ball so much better in the second half of the year. He'll look to continue that.
He does have the only RBI for the Miners yesterday, but couldn't help himself on a guilty pleasure low breaking ball there.
1-2. Nunez has to battle. JoJo trying to strike out the side.
That would just be a absolute backbreaker to the Miners' morale. They need something to hang their hat on. And they give it to him looking again. 1, 2, 3. 3 strikeouts, 2 looking for Ingracia.
Yeah, he looked dominant that inning, the Miners. I mean, you got to take the bat off your shoulder, and it's hard to when Ingracia is putting pitchers in those spots. He was dotting corners.
They tried to take more walks like the first. Instead, they took some Ks back to the bench with them. We'll head to the 3rd inning. Miners looking for something to get going. We'll be back with more action here for the ABL playoffs after a short break. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Cole Moore heads back to the plate. Already had a long ball in the game so far, the only scoring on either side.
Moore stands in now. He's got plenty of pop from that left side. And that homer earlier was no cheapie. That was a skyscraper to right center.
One that just seemed to carry and never come back down until it was over the wall. There's a good strike from Tucker. Tucker has been able to get through the first 2 innings and the last one without any scores, but you have to think there may be a reason to start throwing some other arms eventually, considering they are seeing him pretty well as he gets another hit there.
Back up the box. Cole Moore is seeing the ball beautifully today, and he's got a leadoff single.
Just wasting no time attacking. The Bucs are clearly barreling the ball better so far through 2.
They're seeing his stuff like no other right now. I mean, he is getting hit all over the place. He's got to find a way to change something up because right now the Bucs look like they're not fooled at all at what's coming. Vaquero steps in as that pitch is low for ball 1. Vaquero, his first time up, struck out swinging. The pitch pretty far out of the strike zone, actually, so look to maybe not swing at a pitch that far outside this time up. As he swings here and cracks this one down to 3rd, and it's going to get through into left field. It's a base hit for Diego Vaquero, and the beat rolls on. Wyatt Tucker is getting hit around by this Buck lineup right now. It's 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Ball wasn't hit the hardest, but had enough to get through the left side. Casey Rother tried to stab at it, as now it looks like there's some warming up down in the Miner bullpen.
As there should be at this point. You have no other options. This is your last game. If you have any sense of regret, you can't leave it here.
This is a spot where he's got to get it out. Carson Rocafort standing in, who struck out his first time. Strike 1 there as Rocafort takes it. First time up, he struck out swinging. As there's a ball, missed a little bit, 1-1. break even.
This one fouled off, 1-2.
Rocafort behind in the count, doesn't want to kick, and Tucker needs that exact thing right now. I mean, he doesn't even want a ball hit into play, just wants to get the strikeout, get a chance to face Skipworth with 2 on, 1 out.
The only good thing a ball in play could do is create a double play right now. Wyatt Tucker is just simply not having a good time on the mound.
6 hits so far through 2+ innings.
This one's a ball outside. You might have wanted him on that pitch, but seemed like his release time was a bit off.
2-2. Rocafort trying to battle. He does battle pretty well in the box, and 114 at-bats, 19 strikeouts. Not a huge strikeout rate, also 16 walks.
He waits on the 2-2. This one on the ground into foul ground. Could have been an easy first out, but would have allowed the runners to advance. Instead, we're still staring at a 2-2 and 2 men on at first and second.
Big batter. You got to get Rocafort right now. Got to put him away. Maybe a breaking ball, get him out in front. Maybe a high fastball, blow him away. He's got to get a strikeout.
Huge pitch here. Does swing. Back in foul ground.
Goes foul. It'll stay at 2-2. Tucker already on 51 pitches.
Simply teasing the audience here. Just simply waiting for what's to come from this at-bat.
6 pitches so far this at-bat for Rocafort. Miners' defense, the middle infield really isn't playing that much for the double play. Kind of hoping maybe something to the hole.
Another wild pitch. That one's 3-2.
3-2, and if you walk him, you're looking at bases loaded, nobody out.
Bases loaded in back-to-back innings as well.
Evan Floyd up in the Miner bullpen. As he loosens quickly. The leash appears to be tightening on Tucker.
There's a swing and a miss. They needed that one bad.
And he got bailed out a little bit on that one. It was a really good pitch by Tucker, but it was out of the zone. Rocafort hacking, though, and he's down for out number 1.
His patience only could last so long before he wanted to challenge. Carson Rocafort retired on strikes. Now Jake Skipworth, who went down swinging, comes back to the plate for his second time.
Skipworth, right-handed batter, standing in. 2 on, 1 out, and this would be a heck of a time for a double play.
Instead, this one's going to just laser right past back the screen.
If you can keep it at 2-0, you're still in this game, but allowing that guy in second, that guy on first in, I mean, this thing can spiral out of control quickly. Got that first out, which was big, but he's still got a long way to go through.
Tucker, back in his set. This one just lasered into left field. Tyler Wilson manages to get his glove under it, loses his hat on the run. The wheels on that guy.
He just got under it. Skipworth, I mean, he puts a good shot on that. That ball could have had a chance for extra bases, but got just under. It was a good spot from Tucker. I mean, it was not a bad pitch at all. Skipworth had it on his bat, but a little bit under it, and 2 quick outs for Wyatt Tucker. He is almost out of the storm.
He's nearly tight-roped away on a strikeout and a fly-out, but he has to get past Tyson Donahue first. Donahue walked his first time around. Somebody that's seen Tucker already.
Good pitch.
That was a great pitch.
Good pitch. Low and away, he buried that. That's a good spot for him.
Put it right on the edge of the zone. And he knows he's getting a favorable call low.
Tucker allowed a couple of runs in the first inning. Stranded the bases loaded in the second. He'll try to strand a couple more here.
This one swung on again. Foul ball bounced off. It looked like it might have bounced off Rando a bit as well.
0-2. He's in the driver's seat. I'm going. I shouldn't say nowhere near the zone, but I'm not throwing something in the zone here if I'm Wyatt Tucker. Because now it looks like maybe the athletic trainer out. Just check on Rando, but Rando's sending her straight back to the dugout. He doesn't want to come out of this game. He's a tough guy, and a little tick off him isn't going to take him out.
No, you're going to have to do a lot more to Rando to pull him away from this game. Especially when they have a chance to get out of this inning in an 0-2 count.
Yeah, Trainer and Tyler LeBrun started out of the dugout. Got about halfway towards the foul line, and Rando was just waving him to go back.
We've seen Rando get beat up so many times this year, too. The only time I've really seen him tired was after an outing when Daniel Naughton started, when he handed it over to Steelhorse. So, two pitchers that can be wild at times, and he just had to kill worms all day. He was bruised up and tired.
Outside a little bit there with the fastball. It goes to 1-2. Gotta attack Donahue. Get it out any way you can. You don't need a strikeout. You just need an out here.
Anything goes to get out of the inning. Simply can't allow a base hit. 1-2 pitch. Tucker. There's the delivery. It's on the ground, heading over to third and pulling in safely. No issue this time around.
Cole Moore, aggressive base running there to get over to third base, but it was a good job. That pitch was low and in the dirt. Just got away from Rando a little bit. It'll go down as a wild pitch. Alert move by Moore. I don't hate that pitch there for Tucker. I think it's a good spot. Maybe getting a sword of sorts on Donahue, but he didn't offer.
Donahue slowly working his way back. Can't help himself. There's another swing and miss.
Huge strikeout for Wyatt Tucker. After allowing two guys on base, he really found his groove. He was able to get that punch out to end the inning. And that can't be underestimated right now. Wyatt Tucker, although he's been hit around, he's really battling.
Allowed 6 hits through 3, but only the 2 runs on the deep shot. Besides that, Tucker's been able to manage the traffic. So, the Miners coming up in the bottom of the third, they're going to have to find some life and some energy here if they want to keep competitive. We'll be back with the bottom of the third after a short break. Make sure you stick around. This one low. Still looking for it. Cole Moore stepped right over it initially, but Rother had no intention of going. And now it's a 2-2 count. Should Rother have taken off in the 2-out scenario, he would have been easily in at second.
So lefty on lefty. Got to be aware of the breaking ball.
Fouling it off, staying alive.
Spoil that one. Do it again. Evan Floyd has kind of stopped throwing, and he's just waiting down with Kevin Nakamura side by side. He gave Nakamura a fist pump, and you got to think that it's probably Floyd in the 4th.
Simply waiting for his chance. He'd be happy to wait a little bit longer, though, as the Miners hope to keep this inning prolonged as this one gets past him. Casey Rother pulls into second. That's where he'll stay. A wild pitch makes it a full count.
Runner on second base with 2 outs is a lot better than a runner at first base. So they got him up to second, have him in scoring position. Hit potentially could score Sorelli as he's in a full count.
If they could get a first hit, first RBI at the same time, that would be a nice accomplishment and really get the ball rolling for the Miners.
3-2. Tyler Randall waiting on deck. He could get a chance.
Sorelli back from the 0-2 pit. Now at full count. Gracia has what he wants. Checks on the runner at second, and here's the pitch. And that one's low. Another walk. Nick Sorelli takes another free base.
Gets over to first base, and just like the first inning, runners on first and second, 2 outs. And this is a spot that the Miners have been putrid in. They got to break off.
They keep finding themselves here when it's already a 2-out game. It's a lot harder when you have no room for error. Tyler Rando, somebody who is familiar with driving in a few RBIs, though.
Standing in. Just hoping to get one, honestly. They need a break on the scoreboard before it gets too late.
Rando waits on the pitch, doesn't swing. Smart decision.
Ball 1. He missed there. The Bucs, interestingly enough, only have 3 guys sitting down in their bullpen. So maybe that's kind of a tipper on who's available today.
They were a bit short-armed beforehand. The injury bug for the Bucs definitely seemed to affect them in the pitching staff more than anywhere else. It'll take a bit of a time, both pitcher and batter reassessing. You're Rando, you have that giant gap in between right field between Carson Rocafort and Garrett Ostrander. But you got to be able to hit the ball first, strike 1.
Swinging through a fastball there, and Gracia with a good battle back pitch as he evens it up. Next would be Walters, who hit a ball really hard back up the middle, but Woody Hadeen, who's actually shifted over there right now. They do have the middle infield back up the middle. They've been playing up there all the time since Tyler Wilson's walk-off single.
They learn from their mistakes, does space back out, not longer keeping him on second, as that one's also a ball.
Even when he spaces back out and runs back, I mean, it's not to his normal position. I mean, there's a ton of room in the right and left field down deep in the holes, so anything that way is easily going to get through. It'll be tough to score Rother, though, from there.
There's strike 2. And the Miners back to a 2-out, 2-strike count. Now, another one. He's going to pull back to a full count.
Just missed there. That was really close.
If you're in Gracia, that has to feel like a bit of a nightmare. You keep getting them to a full count or to a 2-strike count, but you can't put them away.
Rando gets his chance. Runners will be on the move. Anything to the outfield should score a run.
3-2. Somebody's got to give. They're on the move. He does swing, and that one just gets to his mitt. I can't believe Rando even made a bit of contact. He's lucky they did, or the inning would be over.
Count extended. Runners will move off the bags once again. Rother's got a really healthy lead out at second. He's the important runner right now. Sorelli obviously is another important runner too, but Rother would be the first run of the game.
They're going again as this one's out of the zone. 3 straight walks. This inning keeps going, and Gracia can't seem to escape from this nightmare.
Need a big hit from Wally here. Need it. Bases loaded, 2 outs. This is the best opportunity all day. You have to get on the board.
You can see a pretty sizable gap between Diego Vaquero and third base as well.
Rocafort playing him towards the line. There's a lot of room, specifically on the right center gap. He hits one out there, and you're scoring 3 runs easy.
Wally could get the Miners offense going here. They might change the course of this game. Pivotal at bat. This one bounces off of him. Rother is heading home. The toss is slow. He's going to be safe at the plate.
Absolutely huge. They get on the board in the first 3 innings. Absolutely huge. And that was gutsy by Rother, too. He almost got thrown out.
Whatever means it takes. And that's all they needed. The wild pitch has been a best friend of the Miners. They score their first run of the game, cut the lead in half, and now they have 2 runners in scoring position.
Well, he's got a chance now to take the lead. Rando will get a big lead and a head start off a second.
Miners able to capitalize on one mistake. We'll see if they can punish them further. One and 0 count. Sorelli's really edging off of third. There's strike 1.
Evened up. He'll still have a chance. Still got a couple of more strikes to go. If it could get to him, Tyler Wilson sits on deck.
There's strike 2. Another good pitch.
Once again, camera issues. If it's a little glitchy, we apologize. I mean, it is really hot. The sun is bearing down on the camera, so stay with us. Hopefully it figures itself out.
Walters in another 2-strike count. They only have 1 run from this inning. They'd love to tie it up here. Go-ahead run would be at second. As this one also bounces off of him. Sorelli's going to tie it up. And he's going to think about coming home, but Rando holds off. Would have been a close play at the plate, but they'll take the tie ball game.
How about this? The Miners manufacturing runs via the wild pitch. We think we've seen everything, and they get on the board like that. So, tie ball game all of a sudden here from Herman Brothers Field.
When the hits aren't coming like they usually are, take advantage of every chance you get.
That ball skipped high up from Moore. That one wasn't even close at the plate.
Simply lucky they didn't lose the lead on that. They've almost emptied the bags on wild pitches. Walters fouls this one off. It's just heading towards the fans.
Still 2-2. He's got a chance to take the lead. If he could get something in play here. The Miners have already tied it. They'd love to take the lead. Evan Floyd now crouching on a knee down next to Nakamura in the pen. Miners fans sitting on nails right now.
Working from a lead would be a spot they haven't had yet in this series. Now we're back to another full count, and Gracia is just eating up his pitch count in this inning.
He is reeling right now. He's already almost to 70 pitches. He sits at 68 pitches right now, and we said on the pregame show that they had to get to him early, and it looks right now that JoJo and Gracia might be knocked out of this game pretty early.
Could assure that with another base knock here. Aaron Walters trying to get the first hit of the ball game. He's fouling it away again.
Really good at bat here for Wally.
He's simply stayed around long enough that Ingrassi has made the mistakes to hurt himself. But Wally has the potential to do more damage. Could also take a walk. And in the on-deck circle would be Tyler Wilson. Miners are still hitless in the ballgame. But this one's a laser. Is it going to get down? It is! There's an RBI single for Aaron Walters. The first hit of the ballgame gives the Miners their first lead since their game-winning walk-off.
This dugout is fired up too. Willie Johnston right out of the dugout screaming as the Miners finally are going to be able to work with the lead.
It took until the third inning, but they finally found some life at Herman Brothers.
Big hit for Wally there. He really needed that. And the team really needed that too.
You see Grant Palmer, head coach for these Bucs, now heading down to his bullpen, and Gracia's day is getting shortened by this minute. Wally, the only hit of the ballgame, stands at first. Wilson is taking another pitch low to start us out with 1-0.
I mean, Gracia's over 35 pitches this inning. This is growing dire right now. They might have to go to Spencer Bengard way earlier than they initially envisioned.
One hit, all it takes to get the Miners crowd fired up. They've been able to get fired up on wild pitches. In fact, they tied this ballgame and could be tied with no hits alone.
0-1 count on Wilson.
That one low, and it's now 2-1. Started off with the ball, still ahead in this count. That one's another ball, 3-1. Tyler Wilson having no issues seeing Gracia this time around.
Way ahead. He'll look to take ball 4.
And this one flying high up. It's likely going to be a can of corn. That's exactly what it is for Woody Haydean, but it didn't matter. The Miners struck in time thanks to their only hit of the ballgame and some wild pitch luck. Miners take an early lead here, and we're going to take a short break as we head to the 4th. We'll be back with some more Miner action, see if we do have a new pitcher on in Floyd. But until then, stick around. Back for the 4th inning. Miners are taking an early lead thanks to a couple errors, and now they have Evan Floyd on. Floyd has been pretty dominant so far, and he's ahead 0-2 against his first batter, Xavier Pinales, looking like a strong start. They usually keep him for the back end of the innings, but no reason to hold back here. There's a first strikeout of the inning from Evan Floyd.
Now batting center fielder, number 5, Garrett Ostrander.
After that strikeout now, Floyd working through his second batter in Garrett Ostrander. Ostrander had a single right up the middle past David Bermudez before, but now he's going to have to face a bit more velocity in Floyd, somebody who likes to attack a lot more with the fastball. Floyd attacking the inside of the zone and maybe a bit too far inside. Ostrander's really selling the lean. The Pensacola pitcher gets a good fastball past.
Goes 2-2 in the count on the hitter at the plate, Garrett Ostrander, who was able to reach his first time up.
This one fouled off. Evan Floyd looking for his back-to-back strikeouts to start this inning. Be a great turnaround and really start to demoralize the other side. Floyd has the rosin bag ready. Let's see if he's going to attack with another fastball. He's been able to get past the first pitcher, or first hitter doing the same. Here's the fastball. He does swing, but finds just the bottom of the baseball.
Fouled off. We'll do it again. Floyd has been an efficient back-end bullpen arm for the Miners this year. He was a starter at West Florida, so he does have obviously some experience starting, but this is a situation he really hasn't been in.
Never really asked to be the bridge role. Usually that's something more for Winkler, but maybe he should be. There's another strikeout swinging. Evan Floyd's looking like he is dominating through this inning.
Back-to-back punch-outs here to begin the 4th.
He's giving them a totally different velocity range from that of Wyatt Tucker, coming at them a lot faster and with a lot faster routine. Woody Haydeen back at the plate. He's been a nuisance for the Miners so far. Been able to get on twice. First time barely beating out Wyatt Tucker to the bag. There's a strike to even us up, 1-1.
On deck would be Jack Mactoff, who's hit a couple of balls really hard, just one each, at the right fielder and the left fielder. Tyler Wilson made that diving catch to keep the game at just 2 earlier.
Haydeen first up. Swings through this one. It's a line drive right past the infield's head.
Third hit of the day for Woody Haydeen. He can't stay off the bags. It's a 2-out knock, and it'll be Mactoff striding in.
See if Mactoff is able to follow suit. He's been the exact opposite today with those 0-2. He's getting quite unlucky despite the high percentage of likelihood that these balls are going to get down. The left-handed batter is waiting on the first pitch from Floyd. The Pensacola pitcher simply hoping to navigate through this, and he throws him back to first. Gonna keep an eye on Hayden on the bat. And remind everybody of the Wheelbarrow of Booze raffle tickets and the 2019 championship quilt tickets that are available in the Beer Shack. If you come to Herman Brothers, be sure to head over to the Beer Shack and try and put in your own raffle tickets. We have program prizes and tickets every game here at Herman Brothers. Floyd behind 1-0 to Mactoff. This one on the ground, breeze over. A nice job to range there and get the ball for the out.
That'll end the fourth. Floyd with a couple of strikeouts to begin the inning, so he works a clean fourth, and the Miners take their one-run lead into the bottom of the fourth.
Gonna have to be cautious about how far they let their pitchers go. You go one inning too far and you're trailing now. But the Miners still have a lead and a chance to build on that. We head to the bottom of the fourth with a Miner 3-2 lead. We'll be back with more action. Make sure you stay right here. Patrick Donovan, the godfather of the Do-Rag gang for the Miners, steps up to the plate. Donovan looking to expand on the Miners' early lead here, and Gracia is back in surprisingly after really just doubling his pitch count in the previous inning. And Gracia gets them to foul this one off, 0-2. Donovan, somebody who can use his feet and really attack on the bases as well, but he's going to have to get on first and can't do that there. Strikeout, or no, he's still alive.
He just got a piece of that, fouled it back.
Barely made the sound as it went right into his mitt, but we'll stay alive. 1-2. There, he will be fanned, offers himself up to the catcher to simply be tagged. He got caught really fishing down in the dirt, nowhere near him.
Donovan caught up a little bit there as he strikes out for the second time today. He's looked a bit off balance. Now it'll be Ricky Nunez.
Somebody whose timing has been well, Ricky Nunez, took the strikeout looking his last time up. Now he's likely going to be a bit more aggressive after testing the limits of his control. Ricky lays off the first one, strike one.
No throwing down in the Buck bullpen yet, but there's a bullpen catcher ready. He has the shin guards and the gear on, as there should be throwing momentarily.
Ricky, not a fan of this one either. Anything inside, he doesn't seem to be giving much of a thought to.
1-1 on Nunez. Swings a hot bat.
There goes this one. It's heading back into left field. This one's down. It's going to be an extra base hit for Ricky Nunez.
Guess I tipped it right. Kid smolders the ball everywhere.
He puts his arms up and gives the crowd the celebration they wanted. The Miners have a hit before 2 outs. Who would have thought?
David Bermudez will try to plate Nunez. Obviously, those extra insurance runs are huge. With the way the Miner pitching has gone, they haven't been terrible, but they have given up some late inning runs. So as many runs as you can tack on is the goal right now.
They're going to keep attacking here early. They can turn around what seemed like a backsided game. Nunez simply waits at second. Bermudez takes ball 1.
JoJo now on the day, as you said, that long third inning, sits at over 80 pitches. Sits at 83 pitches.
He doesn't seem to be slowing down. He'll go to 100 if he has to, but he's definitely struggled with his control as the innings have gone on.
He's only had 2 outings above 6 innings this year. He threw 6 innings against the Miners on June 5th. That was the opening game of the season. Also threw 7 innings against the Chinooks. But those have been his only 2 outings of that length.
Definitely doesn't seem he'll be going that far today. David Bermudez fouls that one off.
2-1 on Burmy. On deck is Holden Breeze, who looks to maybe get it together. Last time had a good at-bat, was able to drive it deep to left field, but having a beat on it was Jack Mactoff, so at least there was some hard contact there from Holden Breeze.
You have to think Holden's going to find one eventually in this series. There's a big swing by Burmy. He's going to get another chance at it, but he's going to have to time it up a bit better. He obviously was attacking more fastball than breaking ball there.
2-2, he's still got a shot. Had 2 hits yesterday. Look to get another one right now.
If you can get a flare out into the outfield, that would be an easy run for Ricky Nunez. This one is heading into the outfield, sending him back. Mactoff gets there. Ricky's going to have to run back to second, but he did have to move to get that one on the run.
Good contact from Burmy there, gave it a little bit of a ride, but able to track that one down with Jack Mactoff. 1 away.
Now we need
Or
Holden.
2 away, rather.
Yeah, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Holden Breeze hoping to get a hold of the ball, send Ricky Nunez home, and give them a bit more comfortable of a lead than a 1-run ball game, the most insecure lead in baseball. Holden simply waiting on Ingracia to get moving. He's taking his time to check on Nunez. Starts him with a strike. That one seemed like more of a gauge pitch than anything, as that was right down the middle.
0-1. Breeze swung at the first pitch last time, so interesting to see him not hacking at a ball right in the happy zone, but held off. 0-1.
Doesn't attack ball 2 either. PSA Alaska Railroad would like this to remind our friends and neighbors, wherever you see railroad tracks, always expect a train. To stay safe around trains and tracks, look, listen, and live. There's another strike. That time it was a great job to just drop it right in the zone. Mini hammer of sorts.
And Gracia passed 90 pitches on there. He's at 91. Now it looks like maybe a warning to the Miner dugout. Maybe not an official warning, an unofficial warning from the second base umpire. Looked at the Miners dugout and held up his hand.
Let the boys have fun. It's somebody's last game of the year, so you might as well go out in a rowdy, fun fashion. I think the Miners already do well enough.
Ball low.
Breeze, a talented hitter, someone who's fast but hasn't been given a chance to steal after only being on once. Hoping to be on for the second time this series. The 2-2 pitch is strike 3. Breeze has to take a second to take it in and believe it, but he's set down on strikes once again.
No actual audio argument from Breeze there, but he didn't think it was strike 3 just by the body language.
He's going to have to get back into the field and accept it. 5th inning of action coming up. Miners still hold on to only a 1-run lead. It's going to be a tight ball game if it stays like this. So make sure you stick around. Don't miss any of the action as we head into the 5th inning. Cole Moore, the lone buck with RBIs to his name, steps back up to the plate for his 3rd time today. He'll be facing off against Floyd, who remains on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Floyd able to work a pretty cleanless and only 1-hit inning in the 4th. He'll start off with a tough fish to fry and Cole Moore in the 5th.
Moore hasn't been kept off base yet. Home run single. Made it all the way to 3rd that last time on the single, but wasn't able to be brought around.
And that one, a bit of a bouncer right into Tyler Rando's face. Ball 2. Floyd starting behind a batter for one of the first times today. It'll be a 2-0 count as Moore is trying to make it a 3-for-3 day. Misses away again. Floyd, not sure if he's trying to pitch around a hitter like Moore, but not the kind of one that you have to attack. There's a 4-pitch walk on Cole Moore. Didn't take very long. He's still on the bags.
Bucks have had plenty of traffic today. Moore and Hayden both, I should say, on base 3 times apiece. Diego Vaquero strides in now, fresh off a single his last time up, but was stranded on base in the 3rd inning.
Floyd likely hoping to do the same to Moore here as he gets ahead with a strike. That time a good fastball on the hands.
0-1, Vaquero's a dangerous hitter. Can't leave any cookies over the plate. As now it looks like Winkler has grabbed a ball and started to at least loosen a little bit down in the minor bullpen.
That smart Winkler could carry you 2 or 3 innings all the way to the 9th if we needed it.
0-2 as Vaquero was not looking for a breaking ball there, and he's quickly behind 0-2, and I would go right back to that well if I was Evan Floyd on the mound right now.
He doesn't seem comfortable with anything inside. A breaking ball might do enough to just confuse him at the plate, produce a miss. Here's the pitch. There's the swing. Not a miss, but it is heading into foul ground.
0-2 still. Yeah, Winkler not really hurried warming up. He's not throwing off a mound yet, just stretching and tossing is Winkler. He'd be on for Floyd potentially in the 6th. And you also still have arms in Evan Wolf. You have an arm in Alex Majors, all fresh.
This one just smacked to the ground in foul ground. Seemed like he carried it with the bat to throw it at the dirt.
And Gracia finished that inning that he last pitched in the 4th at almost 95 pitches.
It's a big workload for only 4 innings for Gracia. Vaquero can't find the ball there. He's hacking high, ball stays low. There's your first out, and another strikeout for Floyd.
Vaquero has that power, but with it comes the strikeouts. He struck out a couple of times swinging and looked foolish on those strikeouts.
He'll come into him eventually, but he does come with that high risk. A lot of swing and miss from that bat. Miners are happy to take it today. Next up, it's going to be the shortstop, or the right outfielder, Carson Rocafort. Someone with extra base potential himself, but somebody who's also likely to end up trailing Cole Moore on the base path with the speed. He could be biting right at his ankles. This one turned on into right field. Ricky Nunez has to head back towards the wall, as that one's going to get away from Donovan. He slides near the wall. He's still heading home. The relay, not going to get him. We have a tie ball game on a deep extra base shot from Carson Rocafort.
Thought that ball was going to get out for a minute. The Miners lucky it just stayed in the yard. Tied game once again.
It was a decent relay throw, but couldn't keep Brando near home plate. He was able to slide in pretty secure.
The second double and the 3rd RBI of the Top of the World playoff semifinal series between these two teams for Carson Rocafort.
He's shown up big in this series, part of that heart of the lineup. 3, 4, and 5 is just a true menace for this Miners defense to work with.
Still got a way to go. You got to get Jake Skipworth here with the runner on second base.
Can't overlook Skipworth as simply a strikeout victim either.
Still just 1 out as well.
A favorable strike, that time the pitcher getting a bit of a bonus. 0-1 count. Rocafort not really moving as Skipworth fouls this one off. 0-2. He's behind again early. Hasn't had too much success in this game so far. Went down as one of the earliest strikeout victims.
He was the 3rd strikeout victim of the game. 0-2, probably looking strikeout here.
As this one's just smacked back into right foul ground.
Sitting at 5:40 local time, it's been a slow 4+ innings, as it's been about an hour and 40 minutes.
Anytime you have a pitcher nearing in on 100 pitches through 4 innings, it's likely been pretty slow. This one just dribbled over his head. Breeze is there. He gets the throw. Nice recovery play, but the runner does advance to 3rd.
Good on Breeze for being shaded a little bit up there. And now Tyson Donahue, who's walked and struck out, comes to the plate. He's a big batter.
That adjustment gives them their second out and a chance to end the inning on Donahue. Miners have given up their lead. They now set in a tie ball game, but they would definitely prefer to sit even rather than behind the Bucs.
3-3 as Donahue comes in trying to give his team the lead.
He takes a big swing, trying to do it all himself.
That was a
Strike one.
bad pitch to swing at. He just went up there thinking, I'm swinging at anything that comes here. Low and a little bit in the dirt as well. 0-1.
You appreciate the resilience, but not always the attitude you need in the batter's box.
Just missed. A little bit off the edge.
Hard to see how he attacks the first one and lays off that next one. He changed a lot from pitch 1 to 2 in his approach.
That was a good call, just a little bit off the outside, but a good challenge pitch from Floyd.
He goes back at it. The low breaking ball continues to tempt him. That's a foul ball for strike 2.
1-2 in the count. Floyd trying to put him away here. The Miners would love an out. Contrast to the way the Bucs play the middle infield. Really in any count, however many outs, whatever guys are on base, the Miners are playing way deep towards the holes, at least for Bermudez at shortstop, not really back up the middle.
This one laid on the ground. It's right past him. Even though he is spread out, that one just shoots past Walters and Breeze on the right side. They take the lead back.
Big at bat. 4-3 Bucs. They retake the lead.
You said we're going to have to score a lot of runs to win here today. It seems to be the case as the Bucs keep running it back up. Now it's going to bring up Xavier Pinales, their DH for today. Miners crowd finally getting some chants going. They didn't really show up until the 9th inning of yesterday's game. It's hard to really galvanize the team.
Pitch way in the dirt, 1-0.
Floyd with a man on first and 2 outs in the inning, hoping to simply end this. He gets a big swing. That's one way to start.
1-1 on Pinales, who 0 for 2 so far today. Popped up to Walters and struck out swinging.
No strike 2. There's ball 2 instead. We also want to thank Kara Severson, a volunteer for our grill master today, serving up AmeriGas burgers and AmeriGas dogs to all of the fans here at Herman Brothers. Floyd can't find the zone. There's 3-1. This inning that looked like it might have been a pretty coast-through inning has turned into 2 runs, and we're still not nearing the end of it. He's not in a pitcher's count.
Aaron Winkler throwing off the mound now, and you got to think he's ready on moment's notice.
He can't get the zone again. There's ball 4, 2 men aboard. This inning's starting to loom as a threat once again.
At the bottom of the order, the 9-hitter Ostrander striding in, but he does have a hit today.
Now batting center fielder number 5, Garrett Ostrander.
Miners simply can't underestimate anybody in this lineup. Everybody seems to come to play today. They are going to have a meeting at the mound. Rando is going to talk it over with Floyd. Possibly something he noticed about the tendencies of Ostrander in his 2 at-bats so far.
Tyler LeBrun heading out to the mound, though, and I think this is going to be the end of the line for Evan Floyd.
I would be inclined to agree with you, so we're going to take a short break here.
Hold on just a second. Now they're going to him.
They do bring Winkler down from the bullpen, so we'll take a break here. Floyd's day is done. Winkler takes over with a 4-3 deficit and 2 men aboard. We'll be right back after a short break. Make sure you stick with us. We'll be back with the top of the 5th. Aaron Winkler, the Rutgers Scarlet Knight, is going to be the man that takes the ball from Evan Floyd and hopefully gets out of this inning for the Miners.
Garrett Ostrander stepping in. Big batter at the plate. If he could produce another run, yeah, multi-run Bucs lead, and with the potential Spencer Bengard looming, that would not be good news for the Miners.
Here in the top of the fifth, we already have 2 on and 2 away. One more out would get us out of this half inning. This one's put in the air in the foul ground.
0-1. Ostrander has been really good this series in terms of working walks. Already has 3 walks, a base hit, also reached on an error, so he's been aboard a total of 5 times this series.
Ostrander in the 0-1. That last pitch, he was far underneath the fastball. Not going to chase another high ball this time. Instead, he's going to let it go by and even up the count. Winkler simply trying to make soft contact. Any out, ground out, fly out would work. They just need to get in out.
On deck is the top of the order, in the form of Woody Haydeen, who has not been put away today, so you don't want to roll it over to him, especially with runners on base.
Ostrander in the 1-1 count. A chance to make this an even bigger inning for the Bucs, who have already touched 2 across. Here's strike 1, a beauty of a breaker. Or strike 2. Winkler will go around one more time. Miners simply need this out. A long wait. Here's the pitch. And made him tango just a bit.
2-2 in the count now. Ostrander, who has a good eye at the plate, continues to work it from Cal Baptist. Trying to find a hole in the defense. Bermudez playing way towards the hole. Breeze is the man holding on. The runner at second base, Tyson Donahue. Penales a couple steps off first.
Once again, able to lay off on what could have been a borderline pitch. 3-2.
Very close, but taken. And now, any hit is going to score a run easy if it's to the outfield. Runners will get to take off here.
Full count, 2 men on. Ostrander versus Winkler. Who's going to take this battle? Winkler steps off before he went in for his windup. Very close to a balk, but didn't start going.
Looks him back. 3-2 again. Donahue does have good speed. Penales has really good speed off of first. So not easy outs on the bases. They're not going to be guys struggling to chug around.
Here's the pitch once again. This one nearly hit the second base line judge, and they have men coming home again. This big inning's still not over.
It's an RBI single as the runner now taking off for second. That can't happen. That cannot happen right there. They had to cut that off.
Had to cut that off. Went right over Wally's head. Instead, it just simply floated in, and no option for Rando to throw in, as he would have likely seen the runner go from third. Instead, they have themselves in a deeper pickle. 3 runs now allowed to come across. They're down 5-3.
Deeper hole continues, and now second and third. Woody Haydeen, who's not been put out yet today, has a chance to put an exclamation on this inning.
It's a strike once again, but Winkler, I'm sure, would have preferred to have that on the previous pitch.
0-1. Runners off of second and third. Ball low, missed low and away. Hadeen taking all the way. Goes even 1-1.
Winkler still has 2 men in scoring position thanks to that routine going through the motions fielding play that resulted in Ostrander stealing second. There's a beautiful strike. Way to get ahead again. 1-2. Doesn't like to work from behind. Winkler hoping to get out of this inning. This one also going to be lined over his head. They can't stop hitting. Here's the throw from right field. A dart as he gets him.
7-3 Bucs. That's a 2-run single for Woody Hadeen. He has been everything you wanted and more as the Bucs have halfway kicked the door in.
They've simply just established dominance here in this inning. It's 6-3.
7-3.
As now Jack Mactoff has to come on. Bases were cleared by Hadeen, who's back at second. Winkler's usually been lights out, allowing 3 runs to come across with hits while he's up there. Obviously doesn't inherit all of these runs, but nonetheless, it's become a real mountain to climb for these Miners.
Down 4 runs. I mean, it's almost to the point where the bleeding has just not had a chance to stop. There's a ball to Mactoff. 1-1.
Only held a brief lead heading into this inning, and it didn't stay around for long. Winkler just hoping to work out of this inning. 2 line drives. This one, only a foul ball.
Count goes to 1-2. Searching desperately for an end. The Bucs have put 11 hits up on the board today. They've also been able to combine that with a couple of walks as well. 13 base runners in just 4 2/3.
Another foul ball. Add to Mactoff's collection.
No activity down the Miner bullpen. This is Winkler's show right now, but just getting the out here almost at this point. We'll see if it'll be enough.
This one simply going to bounce on the ground. Winkler, there's the throw, gets the out, ends the inning, but not until 9 batters had come up in the 5th.
Bad inning to say the least, so they've really got to come back if they want to have a chance to stay in this game.
They're going to have to rely on their offense to make a strong response after getting beat around in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Miners desperately in need of some help. Make sure you stick around. You don't miss any of the action. Miners trailing big here, down 4, and we headed to the bottom of the 5th. But it'll be Casey Rother leading us off against a new arm in Zach Heath. University of Dallas Baptist pitcher, the senior, who pitched yesterday, but now he's going to be throwing again today. Didn't go that far yesterday, only went an inning in the appearance he made, but was able to shut out the Miners.
4 runs to get as Heaton steps on the mound and looks to do some more damage against this offense.
This one's going to be flied right into Carson Rocafort's Met. He only had to take 2 steps. He didn't even break a sweat thinking about that.
1 out. Nick Sorelli strides into the box.
Miners are going to have to take advantage of this Bucs bullpen if they even want a chance to come back in this game.
Heaton got the save yesterday, struck out Ricky Nunez to end the game. He threw 7 pitches, all of them were strikes.
Heaton coming at Sorelli now, throws another strike.
0-1 on Sorelli.
There's a major hook, but can't get it to drop down just enough.
Too high, 1-1. Sorelli looking to maybe get the Miners in the hit column. Just 2 hits all day.
Compare that to the 11 from the Anchorage Bucs. They are definitely the least of the slugging teams. We want to thank our official sponsor of Matsu Miners Travel, Alaska Airlines. Miners obviously get the chance to relax at Herman Brothers, but also are having a tough performance in front of some home crowd today.
1-2 on Nick. Rando stands on deck, who walked and scored his last time up.
Sorelli hoping to spark their own big inning. They need a response here in the bottom of the 5th. But that one is a big strike 3. Nick Sorelli has to take a seat, and there's 2 quick outs from 2 of the best hitters from the Miners.
Zach Heaton's looked good in this series. His stuff is lively. He doesn't throw a lot of pitches outside of the zone, and right there, just blowing it right by Sorelli.
Well, we have what it takes to get past Rando as well. Rando's been able to get a board already. They want to get something going. No better time than the present. There's the hook that does come down. A nice curveball that just manages to drop down.
0-1.
Rando dribbles this one in front of the plate, but it bounces back to foul ground.
Quickly behind 0-2, and this inning appears to be fading just as quick as it came in.
Rando in a 2-strike count, 2 outs already. Heaton simply just putting everything in the zone. If you're going to hit it, you have to put it in play or foul it off. You can't wait and watch it go by. Except for that one.
1-2 as it touches the screen. Still in the high 70s. Sun has not really relented. It's a hot one here at Herman Brothers.
Here's the pitch once again, this time also high, 2-2. Rando is able to squeeze 2 balls out of this at-bat.
Aaron Walters sits in the on-deck circle. He'd be next.
While he does have that RBI single, but he's not going to get a chance to here. Heaton just drills the fastball right past Rando for the 3rd out.
That'll end the 5th. The Miners got to put up a goose egg on the scoreboard and hope their offense can come around. They got just 4 more innings.
They're coming down to the wire, but they're going to have to be better on defense as well. 5 runs in the last inning, not going to cut it. So we head to the 6th. Miners still trailing 7-3 as we head into the 6th. Make sure you stick here with us. with the top of the 6th inning. Miners going to be looking for some defensive prowess and some nice stops, but they also have a developing story as their catcher behind the plate is no longer Tyler Rando.
Tyler Rando got thrown out of the game for arguing balls and strikes. As now there's something going on outside of the Miner dugout. It looks like the bullpen was maybe chirping at the first base umpire. Somebody else might have just got thrown out. Or wait, no, now maybe the home plate umpire or the first base umpire is walking towards the stands. Maybe it's somebody in the stands. I think it is somebody in the stands. He pointed at the bullpen at first, but I don't think it's the bullpen.
We haven't had a fan get thrown out yet, so that would be a first for the Miners season.
So Tyler Rando is done. Behind the plate, Kevin Nakamura takes over behind the dish. Tyler LeBron also walked out and had a long conversation with the home plate umpire. He was not thrown out. He's still in the dugout, but Rando is out of the game.
You lose the bat of Rando, that's a big RBI potential. Nakamura is going to have to step up big in his absence. Somebody that can catch their own game fine, and somebody that's been getting on base plenty. Nakamura might be able to add something, but Rando is a real lively part of the lineup. But the first base umpire finally seems to have his piece. He'll head back to his spot. We didn't see anyone get thrown from the fans just yet, but they could be on the hot seat. Winkler is back out there for his 2nd inning as well.
Miners down 4, and Tyler Rando getting ejected is absolutely the last thing you want. Jared Sweeney is walking back to the clubhouse as well. I don't think he was thrown, but he's now out of the clubhouse, and now it looks like there's a fan. Looks like the fan and the umpire are converging, and I believe another fan may have just gotten ejected. This is really turning ugly here at Herman Brothers.
We have not seen an ejection of this caliber in a long time. He's just going at everybody. He's making enemies of everybody and doesn't care.
Yeah, a couple fans just got ejected.
They're going to have to move that umpire simply away from that side. He can't handle it.
Yeah, so, I mean, this has got to stop one way or another. We got to play baseball.
And it seems he is going to try and brave it and stay at that side. They'll send the other umpire back to the 3rd baseline, but it seems the umpires have more drama than the players themselves.
There's still chirping going on. The home plate umpire is talking to either somebody in the minor dugout or somebody in the stands. Now it looks like we're going to finally play baseball.
I don't think we've seen a pitch thrown in a while, and that first one's taken fast into foul ground. Ricky Nunez unable to get over there. Almost forgot which sport we were playing. More like an MTV episode.
0-1 on the batter at the plate, Cole Moore, who's been aboard 3 times. Homer, single, walk, scored twice.
He's going to change his bat. You also see Wally talking to the first base umpire. Not sure if he's trying to explain anything, but at this point, I'd simply stay away with how eject happy he seems. Winkler with another pitch. This one sent to Wally. He'll get the easy grab and put him away for the first out.
1 away, and striding into the plate is Diego Vaquero.
Vaquero has been pretty swing happy in today's game. Struck out twice so far. And somebody who's liable to do so again against a nice breaking pitcher like Winkler.
Jared Sweeney was not ejected as he heads up the line down to the bullpen. So maybe he's the new bullpen catcher now that Nakamura is in the game. There's ball 1 to Vaquero.
1-0 count. We had so much happen before this inning could even begin. Nearly forgot what we were here for. A big swing and miss by Diego Vaquero. He still seems really clueless when it comes to all those off-speed pitches. This one put on the ground. Rother at third, throws across the diamond. He gets it on a quick hop. Nice job by Walters to glove that one and get the second out of the inning.
Goes down as a 5-3 ground out. Rother and Walters 2 away.
And that'll bring up Carson Rocafort, who will simply just reuse the same bat. He seems to be a fan of whatever Diego Vaquero had in his hands. He'll try to find better results. And this one also going to be sent into foul ground.
Foul ball. And it's 0-1 on Rocafort, who struck out his first couple of times, but last time up he hit that deep shot into right center field that almost got out of here. Stayed in the park, but he got the RBI double to tie the game. Also scored the go-ahead run.
Rocafort waiting on the pitch. 0-1. Make it 0-2.
Tapping that foul.
One of the shortest walk-up routines as well. Just touches it, takes one half swing, and sometimes will just go right into his stance like that. Not going to swing away at the pitch far across the plate. Being able to get through this inning 1-2-3. Solid place to start for the Miners after allowing 9 to come across in the previous. They do just that. 1-2-3 inning as Aaron Winkler is able to get some quick outs for the Miners. Still down 4. They're going to need an offensive explosion in this one without the bat of Tyler Randall.
They got to get it going offensively. They only got 12 more outs to play with.
We head to the bottom of the 6th. Miners looking to make something happen. Make sure you stay with us here so you don't miss any of it. Wally, the first batter up here for the Miners in the bottom of the 6th as they need to get something going. Still only 2 hits matching their total from yesterday, but 3 runs to boot. That still puts them down 4 runs at the moment.
Back out on the mound is the right-hander Heaton.
Heaton is attacking the strike zone well, going through with another fast pitch as this one's sent up to the sky. It's likely going to become an easy gift for Diego Vaquero, and it does.
Easy out for out number 1, and now it'll be Tyler Wilson.
Simply uninspired right now at the plate. It just seems like everybody's going through the motions. This is a team that was red hot in the final week of the season, batting average over 300. Since we've gotten into the playoffs, they've just simply turned off. There's a high pitch, ball 1.
Wilson so far today struck out swinging and popped out to second base.
At this point, your win percentage is not in your favor, but you've got to simply start rallying, start passing it off. Hopefully, you start stringing some hits together. Wilson does swing here, 2-1.
Heaton's been really impressive with the strike throwing. We said their bullpen was thin, but getting some innings out of Zach Heaton has been absolutely critical for them.
This one put on the ground once again, an easy dribble ball, but Tyler Wilson's pretty fast. Still beats him out. That was closer than it seemed.
Just by about a half a step. Correct call. Wilson did a good job burning up the line, so not showing any quit, but 2 outs regardless. It'll be Patrick Donovan.
Donovan would love to get into his first hit here. Miners are really kind of tumbling. First pitch of this at-bat is going to be ball 1.
1-0 on Donovan, who's struck out a couple of times today.
Donovan not going to strike out, but will pick up a strike 1. Keaton continuing to make this a quick inning. He's going back in, but this time below the zone.
Ricky Nunez stands on deck. He had a double his last time up with 1 out, but could not be brought around.
That represents all of half of the Miners hitting in this game. There's another strike. Donovan surprisingly didn't take that nice rope fastball on the bottom of the zone.
2-2 in the count.
Patrick Donovan waits once again. He was able to find a piece of it. Lucky he did. He simply slashed at that ball.
Counts 2-2. Donovan goes back in. Trying to turn one around. It's grown late and dire.
And here's another foul ball. 1 foul ball at a time, just staying alive. Hoping to keep the Miners' hopes in the 6th inning going. Donovan again. This time, he fouls it again.
Long at bat for Donovan. 7 pitches already.
He simply just keeps fouling it away. Not taking any more balls at the moment, but is providing a bit of a nuisance to Heaton, who watches by.
3-2. He's got a chance to reach base. Nunez stands waiting in the circle.
The last out is going to prove to be the hardest here in the 6th.
This ball's grounded over to second base.
He gets it. There's the out. Once again, 1, 2, 3 for the Miners. No response put up in the bottom of the 6th. The Bucs are seemingly coasting right now. The Miners need to have some kind of response soon. We head into the 7th. Make sure you stick here with us. Miners hoping to pull off a late comeback. We want you to be a part of it, so stick around here with us. Jake Skipworth leads us off in the 7th in what has turned into a longer game. 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're just now reaching the final 3rd stretch. Aaron Winkler is back out there after holding up a scoreless inning in the 6th.
Strike 1 there to Jake Skipworth, who has not reached base yet today. One of just 2 Bucs who haven't reached the bags.
It's going to be harder with an 0-2 count as well. Another pitch and another bad swing by Skipworth. He gets him looking.
Looked off balance that whole at bat, swinging wildly, I should say, through a couple of sliders, easily put away for out number 1.
I want to thank a sponsor of the 2021 Matsu Miners Baseball Club, Pacific Northwest Regional Council of Carpenters and Carpenters Union Local number 1281. Coming up next, shortstop Tyson Donahue, somebody who has been aboard so far, but one that hasn't had as much success as the heart of this lineup.
There's ball 1 just off. Donahue has walked and singled, also scored a run. Bottom of this order, 7, 8, 9, all scoring runs today.
That 9-hole especially has been a problem for the Miners in this series. In Game 2, weren't even able to put out Ricky Gatter in the 9-hole.
Xavier Pinales stands on deck, who walked his last time up.
Donahue puts this one on the ground, but into foul ground. Winkler, with a nice hustle, is ready to head towards the bag.
Count will be 1-2 as Winkler looks to continue his path to throwing up another 0. 4-run game. It's not out of reach, but it's going to take a lot of offense.
This one on the ground to Breeze. He's able to get there for a second out, and it's going pretty well so far for Aaron Winkler. I'm more surprised they saw him that well out of the bullpen and were able to collect those hits and 3 runs that really separated this game.
He came on in a 5-3 game and gave up a couple inherited runs, but nothing besides that. Obviously, the past 6 batters, correct me, he's gotten out.
It's Woody Hayden that's been the problem for every Miner pitcher. But now he gets the chance to go against Xavier Pinales for what could be the 3rd out in the top of the 7th.
Ball 1 there to Pinales. DHing today. He's been in 3 different roles this series, as there's ball 2. Caught Game 1, appeared as a pinch hitter yesterday, came through with an RBI single. And today in the DH spot, 0 for 2 with that walk, but he did come around to score.
Someone who initially started in their infield but found his way behind the plate. So an interesting story for Xavier Pinales, who's way ahead 3-0. First time Winkler's really struggled to find the zone with the batter. We're going to see a fastball more than likely right over the heart of the plate. That's exactly what it is. But there's strike 1.
3-1 count. Winkler's trying to just get another one over the plate. Doesn't want to walk Pinales.
There's a big swing.
Went out of the zone to swing at that. In fact, that was ball 4.
Helped him out. There's strike 2 instead. 3-2 count. Winkler has slowly reeled him back in at 3-2. Now a chance to escape the inning. 1-2-3. And does just that. Aaron Winkler, way to rile him back in, and he's trying to fire up the crowd too. He said, come on, let's get going.
We're headed to stretch time. Miners still down 4, looking for an offensive response.
Hopefully they can feed off that energy from Aaron Winkler. They're going to need it. Only 9 outs remaining. We head to the bottom of the 7th here at Herman Brothers Field. Make sure you stick around for some more Miner action.
Ricky Nunez.
We're in the bottom of the 7th, and we finally do see a Miner that wants to win. Aaron Winkler showing some passion when he came off the mound, trying to get his teammates into it. We'll see if he passed that off to Ricky Nunez.
Nunez striding in, fresh off that double his last time up. And obviously down 4 runs, getting the leadoff man will help you a lot at scoring some runs on the board.
Wasn't interested in the first pitch, but should have been. Strike 1. The 7th inning stretch today was sponsored by Alaska Highway Safety Office. Stop speeding before it stops you. Ricky Nunez, a big swing at strike 2. He swung horizontal. That pitch was going vertical. That's a bad matchup for a hitter.
Behind in the count. He's got a battle now.
Has to hold it down on an 0-2 count. Nunez waits on the 0-2. He's going to have to make a quick dodge there. He even took his helmet off.
Goes to 1-2 in the count.
Nice job to keep the moneymaker unharmed. And now Ricky Nunez is in a 1-2. Heaton back in. Is going to be low.
David Bermudez waits on deck. His last time up, he hit it pretty well in the left field, but Macdoff was able to track it down.
Nunez trying to extend his appearance at the plate. Does that with another layoff.
3-2. This is an opportunity to work a walk. You got to battle and maybe see that ball 4. Right now, it doesn't matter how the hit comes, whether it's a hit or a walk or an error. However you can get on, he needs to get on.
Need to get the legs moving. Instead, they are put down on a strike 3 there. Ricky Nunez swings at the same breaking ball and can't find it again.
David Bermudez strides into the box. 4 for 2 so far today.
That curveball was just a real tough matchup for Ricky Nunez.
Zach Heaton has been so impressive out of the bullpen. He has not allowed a runner yet.
David Bermudez trying to change that.
Scored the bunt there. Backed off. Was never gonna bunt with the infield playing way back.
That's definitely more of the phantom feint bunt. You want to make sure they think about it. Bermudez, not someone that has a whole lot of speed too. It would need to be a perfect bunt.
1-1.
There's what should have been ball 2. Instead, lodged its way up on the roof over here with the press box.
1-2 in the count. He's going to have to battle Holden Breeze. Sits in the on-deck circle. He struck out looking his last time.
Bermudez in the 1-2 count. Gives him the same breaking ball. This one in the dirt. He's going to hustle, but gets thrown out anyway.
2 outs as Alex Majors has begun to loosen down in the minor bullpen. Obviously, nowhere near a save situation right now, but looking to just try to get a couple of innings to prolong the game a little bit, maybe throw up a couple of zeros and at least give his offense the opportunity.
That's all you can do as a pitcher at the moment. Can't represent more than 1/9 of the batting order. It's up to the whole team to decide they want to make a commitment to coming back. And right now, they are really seem to be reeling. Heaton is throwing a lot of strikes. 0-1 count. 0-2 count.
He is just throwing nails for these guys out of the bullpen. Nobody even throwing down there. He normally a starter has turned into a star reliever here in the playoffs.
A lot of their relievers didn't have the best numbers throughout the regular season, but they've stepped up huge against the Miners in this series. Reels, for one, has come in. They had Sauer. They've now had Heaton. As this was on the ground, Holden Breeze is going to hustle. That's the throw. And there's the 3rd out. Once again, the Miners are unceremoniously taken out 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the inning.
Just 6 more outs to play with, as we're probably going to have a new pitcher on for the 8th.
They're going to need to do everything they can simply to keep the distance they're at right now. So we'll see who comes on in the 8th, and if the Miners have any gas left in the tank, make sure you don't go anywhere or you'll miss our 8th inning of action.
Online, those jersey auctions will continue.
We're into the 8th inning. Miners still trailed by a big here, but they do have a new arm on in Alex Majors, who won the Fireman of the Year for the ABL and also made a first-team All-ABL selection for a closer for good reason. Good first out there on only one pitch.
Gets that first out, yeah, 11 saves on the year. He was an easy choice for the Fireman of the Year. Led the league in saves and was one of the best relievers, period.
Already through Ostrander. Now he'll see if he can be the first to put away Haydeen. 4 for 4 on the day. That's gonna hit him. That's not gonna count as a at-bat, but he will get on. And he's having a ridiculous day.
Woody Haydeen aboard 5 times today. Top of the order, he only had 1 hit coming into today, and he's made up for it and then some today. 5 times on, he's scored a run, he's knocked in a couple of runs, he's doing it all.
Jack Mactoff trying to follow suit, instead swinging away in the dirt. Here's the next pitch from Majors, waiting on Woody, who starts to go. Eventually pulls back, but there's strike 2.
0-2 in the count. As Cole Moore, who's had a great day as well, stands on deck.
Majors with a huge punch-out opportunity here. Haydeen may be on the move. There's a big swing. Nakamura almost gloves it, but it wouldn't have mattered. Foul ball.
Stay at 0-2.
Anytime Haydeen has gotten on, Mactoff hasn't done a whole lot to advance him right behind him. See if that remains the case in this at-bat. Haydeen may look to steal a bag. Not going to do the case. That's another hit by pitch as Alex Majors' slider has now cost 2 bases.
Ball just coming way inside, and it got Mactoff, who's a little gimpy, running down to first base. Now it'll be first and second with just 1 out.
Can never feel good to take one right on the thigh. Might have to go back to his original grip. He kind of switched over to more of a splitter grip when he started throwing a new pitch. And now with 2 hit by pitch, you want to get more safe. Majors is back in now against Cole Moore, the person who got the scoring started with everything here.
Way outside, first pitch with the ball. No activity in the minor pen. It's Majors' 8th. Cole Moore, 2 for 3 day. An RBI, couple of RBIs on that 2-run homer. Back in the first inning.
Majors can't seem to get the break back in. He might be a bit cautious after hitting those 2 batters. He doesn't want to put as much spin on it, but now it's not coming back into the zone at all. Make that 3-0. Alex Majors is only 1 pitch away from loading the bases up.
Has been a struggle for Majors on the mound. Just got that 1 out on the first pitch of this inning. Right now, he really needs a strike.
Can't find it. Can't buy it at a yard sale. Instead, he's going to have to give up another bat.
Bucs have loaded up the bases without swinging the bat. Back-to-back walks and a hit by pitch. As now it's going to be Diego Vaquero stepping in as there's a meeting at the mound with Bubba Walters and the entire infield.
We've seen batters really start to figure out Alex Majors as the year's gone on. They've gotten a few hits, but we've never seen him really have a collapse. This is the first time he's really faced a situation he's created for himself. Because of that, he has to deal with bases loaded, only 1 out. And luckily for him, someone coming up to the plate that's really struggled to not swing out.
Diego Vaquero is coming in next as there's a right-hander loosening in the minor pen. Might be Evan Wolf. Just getting that arm ready.
Be surprised if they took Majors more than 1 inning.
Now batting for baseman number 30, Diego Vaquero.
Vaquero and Majors facing off here. Majors already in his hunched forward start to his stance. Now he has what he wants. There's the throw. This one on the ground into foul ground.
0-1. Vaquero last time up, he grounded it down the third baseline. Casey Rother fielded on a big hop and made a long throw across. They'd love another ground ball down to third base. Rother would go home with it. Runner at the plate, Vaquero. He's a bigger dude, but he can move a little bit.
This one swung on. It's a high shot into center field. Donovan's going to have to make a run on the throw into Cannon for the sac fly. He gets the throw in. Not there. No throw to second or third by Nakamura. So the runners advance, and a sac fly makes it an 8-3 ball game.
Woody Hayden's got a ton of speed there. That ball was into shallow left center, but still running. The throw to the plate came on a hop, but it was a big hop. Nakamura couldn't handle it. Hayden slides in safe, and the lead is expanded to 5.
Wasn't the worst throw. Just tough to compete with the speed of Hayden. We have 2 outs now, runners at second and third, and next up, it's going to be Carson Rocafort, who's already delivered his own big shot with a double that ended up clearing the bases earlier.
0-1, 8-3. Miners just 6 more outs to play with.
Not a whole lot of room for error. In fact, it just got even smaller. Alex Majors punches a strike right past him. Majors not afraid to work with runners in scoring position. He simply attacks the person at the plate and continues to do so. Another splitter. That time it lands in the corner for strike 2.
Heading the count, trying to just keep this deficit at 1. Doesn't want to let it go any worse. It's already 8-3. Base hit probably ends it right here.
This one sent into right field. Ricky Nunez back as this one
Foul ball.
is foul ball.
Just foul.
It make you wait for long enough and you don't hear that thud against the foul pole, you might think it's gone. Luckily, finally clarified.
Just foul. Rocafort will go back to his bat. He thought he might have had a home run. It's been 2 unfortunate breaks, at least for Carson Rocafort. Had that one to deep right center on a hop off the wall, and then just foul ball. That ball cleared the fence.
That one was gone. I'd say this would more than likely be wrapped up. That would be a real deflating action from Carson Rocafort. Does swing again. All he can do is foul away.
Still at 1-2. If you're looking ahead towards the minor part of the 8th inning, they'll have 2, 3, 4 in the lineup coming up. So the meat of the lineup is probably their best chance to maybe cut back into it.
This one does get away from Kevin Nakamura. They're going to have to dig even more. A wild pitch creates another run.
Ball just way too far outside. Knack tried to go over and get it, but by then it was too late. Wild pitch scores another run as they add on another. It's 9-3.
Just continues to bury themselves. 2 more runs added in this inning to what was already a 7-3 ball game. There's the strikeout he needed. They finally end the inning, but he would have liked to do that 1 pitch sooner.
Off to the 8th. Miners 2, 3, 4 coming up. Down 6 runs. I mean, this is your chance, if anything, to cut back into it.
They need to average a run and out in order to come back in this game. We'll see if they have the magic touch to make it happen. We'll be back in the bottom of the 8th after a short break, so make sure you stick around and don't miss any more action.
Number 48,
Casey Rocker leads us off here. Miners are in need of many and all heroes. They'll take any takers. They simply want to get hits, get runs, and make them feel like they have a closer chance in this one. This game is never over until the last out is recorded.
Strike 1 to Rother there as Zach Heaton, who has not allowed a base runner in 3 innings, is back on the mound.
No reason they shouldn't keep him out there. He's been dominating so far, attaching nothing but the strike zone. As this one's finally put on the ground, it bounces off his glove. The Miners catch a break as Vaquero has one bounce off his glove. That's going to be an error.
Well, that wasn't a conventional play either. It took a huge hop. He had to jump up just to put his glove on it. Just cleared it. So, Miners do have a base runner.
1 base runner can start it all. They need a big rally in order to make something happen, and with 1 aboard, Nick Sorelli comes to the plate. Nick Sorelli is in need of a deep shot now. Long overdue for some round trip action. He lost his title for that at the end of the year, thanks to 1 last home run from Garrett Pennington. But it's still there. The potential's always there with Sorelli.
Home plate umpire going and dusting off the plate a little bit there as it's 1-0.
There's a big swing for strike one.
Sorelli scored a run, the second run of the Miners' day back in the third, where they took a 3-2 lead, but it all vanished with a 5-run top of the fifth inning for the Bucs, and they've held on since.
In fact, they've added to it. 1-1 pitch. Sorelli, not a fan of that one either. 2-1. Sorelli, obviously a fan of the walk, but for the Miners to keep walking around patients like this, it's going to take a lot of time and unlikely considering the amount of mistakes it would take. They're going to have to start putting barrel to ball. Not just yet. 3-1.
I mean, they are down 6, but a couple men reaching to start the 8th inning. It's at least a start. You obviously got to get a lot more, but it's something.
Got to start somewhere. Just pass the baton to the man behind you. Let him take his hacks. Sorelli takes a hack there in 3-2. What likely could have been ball 4.
He'll go back in on a full count. Kevin Nakamura, who came in for the ejected Tyler Rando in the 6th inning, is waiting on deck. This would be his first at-bat of the game.
Miners want a response here in the 8th. And Sorelli is going to just chip this one off. Vaquero running, losing his hat, getting there. He gets the out. Rother doesn't advance as well as Sorelli is put away rather unceremoniously.
First out, Sorelli not happy with himself as he walks back to the dugout, and now to be Kevin Nakamura.
Nakamura gets his first at-bat of the game after checking in. Nakamura, who has had 2 real big stretch of RBIs in the beginning and the late part of the season. They would love another surge from Nak here. Instead, he starts with strike 1.
0-1. Aaron Walters due up in the on-deck circle. That one missing low, 1-1.
Rother hasn't even made a whole lot of movement since he's been over to first. Not really jumping along the bases, not tempting for a steal. Unless there's a hit, I don't know if we'll see him run. This one far away for strike 2. Nakamura hoping to hold on in a 2-strike count with Rother at first. Down 6, they need some big momentum. But that is the exact opposite of what they needed. A big strikeout. Kevin Nakamura goes down swinging and moved that total outs remaining down to 4.
Zach Heaton has completely commanded this game. He has been so impressive. 6 strikeouts in 3 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. He's been absolutely nails, and we haven't seen Spencer Bengard. He might be hurt, or something, but Zach Heaton has completely picked up all of his slack and then some.
It's a K per 9, just around 18. One that's an absolutely ridiculous number for anybody. Walters is the next man up and the one that has an RBI as well. It's the only RBI that's come off of a hit in the game so far. For the Miners, at least. If you look on the other side, 11 hits will generally give you some runs.
2 hits all day again for the Miners. It's been tough to put barrel to baseball, and winning games is tough when you only have 2 hits, especially when the Bucs have put 9 on the board. The only hits are Nunez and Walters.
Been a slow day all around for the Miners. Takes that one for ball 2. However, the Miners, no matter how many times they get ahead in counts, they seem to swing away when they do. They like to try and attack that 3-1 fastball or 3-2 fastball like that, and it gets put on the ground for the final out.
Heading to the 9th, Miners down a bunch, so they're going to have to really bear down in the bottom of the 9th inning if they want to win this game.
Do you believe in miracles? Because you're going to have to. 6 runs to go, 3 outs to do it, and first they have to shut them down in the field. We'll be back with the 9th inning of action and what is going to be the final inning of one team season. So make sure you stick around and see us out for the final result. We're into the 9th inning, and somebody's Cinderella story is coming to an end. For the Miners, they're down 6. Odds it's going to be them is likely, but nothing's impossible. Alex Majors returns to the mound for the top of the 9th. He made it through the 8th eventually after allowing 2 scores.
There's a ball inside. 1-1 in the count on Skipworth, who has been the lone Buck to not get on base today, an 0 for 4.
That is not going to change either, as Bermudez makes a nice routine play, gets the throw over to first, 6-3 ground out.
1 away. Tyson Donahue grounded out to second base his last time up. Has a walk and a single today, though. He's also scored a run.
Majors on the year, they'd only allowed 7 runs. His first 2 he's allowed in the playoffs, so that may be the most he's allowed in one inning as well. He's simply been pretty locked down, only allowing maybe 1 that they exchanged for an out. There's ball 1 to start out Tyson Donahue.
Stand's starting to empty a little bit. A few people starting to head to the exits, and I don't blame them. It is a 6-run game, but they do have a chance.
Always a chance. Just didn't give a whole lot to their fans so far through the first couple innings in terms of offense. This whole series, the bullpen and starters for the Bucs have simply looked better. There's a swinging miss for the first strike. Alex Majors may be able to reel himself back into this count.
Assuming that the Bucs can hold on, they will still be the away team, but the series will go back to, or the championship series will go to Anchorage, and probably it'll be 3 and 4. The Pilots and the Bucs. If the Bucs can hold on today, the Pilots would host game 1, Bucs host game 2, Pilots host game 3. So just like the last ABL season, 2019, after the pandemic canceled the 2020 season, it'll be Bucs and Pilots, just in a different spot now.
And this one far inside for a walk. Tyson Donahue picks up a walk on balls in only 5 pitches.
Second walk of the day, and now it'll be Xavier Pinales, who's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts, but has walked and scored a run, as have a lot of people in this lineup. So far today, they have had, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys score runs.
And it may continue. This one leaks into right field. Ricky Nunez gets there, but they move along the line one at a time.
Pinales' first hit of the day. Garrett Ostrander next to the plate. Ostrander, productive day, couple of hits, includes an RBI out of the 9-hole. He has been a thorn in the Miners' side, as now Tyler LeBrun takes the long walk out to the mound, and it appears we will have a pitching change.
Majors did come out and manage to work an inning in a third, but that's all they're going to allow for him. they do have a new arm coming down. It looks like Evan Wolf may be the final Miner pitcher on, unless they can put together a run in the bottom of the ninth. First, they have to escape the top of this one. So we'll take a break, give Wolf some time to throw some warm-up pitches, and we'll be right back with the continuation of the top of the ninth. Wolf is in. There was some slight howls, not as much as we normally have, as the crowd has somewhat dwindled here in the late innings. Wolf will look for the final 2 outs for the Miners with 2 aboard and Ostrander at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Wolf does get a strike on the inside of the zone.
Gets it there. Evan Wolf has been a mainstay in the Miner pitching rotation all year. He's been one of their most common bullpen arms, usually a 7th inning type of guy.
Played in game 1 of this series. Managed to help his team rise to the win, as he started to go around but stopped himself when he saw it dying into the plate. 1-1 count on Ostrander. Miners do have the double play ball in effect. Anything on the ground would likely be tried to turn for 2. But Wolf is going to fireball that one on the outside, ball 2. Wolf is deadlocked on Ostrander. He was simply focused on getting the next strike, but can't find it. 3-1.
3-1 on Wolf. Trying not to load up the bases as Ostrander looks to reach for his 3rd time today. It's been a productive 9-hole hitter all series, to say the least.
Wolf can't get back to the zone. That's ball 4.
Bases are now going to be loaded for a guy who still has not been put out. This is going to be his 6th at-bat of the game. Woody Hayden, 4 singles and a hit by pitch. He'll bat from the left side.
It'll be hard to replicate the hit by pitch, but a single he might be able to do. If you're Evan Wolf, it could be an accomplishment simply to keep this guy off the bags right now. Ball 1 on the first pitch. The Gahanna, Ohio pitcher has no room for error and nowhere to put him. Woody Hayden turns into another one. Nunez on the run. This one gets down. It's into fair ground. They keep running. That's 3 across. Hayden into 3rd. He is having the most perfect game he could possibly have.
5 for 5 with a triple and a walk. I mean, what can this guy not do? And the lead has gone up to 12-3.
One swing of the bat, he has done it all. He alone has scored more and hit more than the Miners' offense.
They have busted this game wide open in the late innings.
It was a competitive ball game about halfway through, and now it's much less not the case.
Hard to believe the Miners led at one point in this game. It's a 10-0 run right now for the Bucs.
Not getting any easier. Kadeen off of third, still itching to come home. Wolf behind 1-0. Make that 2-0.
I know Heaton's been good out of the bullpen, but I don't think anybody gets the MVP of this game besides Woody Hadeen. There's time called before that pitch. Okay, 2-0. Hadeen aboard all 6 times. Knocked in 4 runs. Swing and missing there.
Finally gets a swing and a miss. That could be good for a pitcher's confidence. You just need to see them miss to make yourself believe you can make them miss.
Just missed there, and it's 3-1.
He does have 2 open bags with a walk, but would much prefer to get this out. We have been holding on to that second out for a while as Nunez has to run. This one's still going to get down, and the run's going to come across. They're up by 10, but we're in the 9th inning anyway.
RBI single for Jack Mactoff, and now with him reaching base there on the single, it's been 8 guys in this Buck order who have a hit today. They put up 14 hits on the board, a bunch of walks. This has been, to say the least, a bit humiliating in the late innings.
The Miners have simply been given a master class of what to do at the plate and haven't been able to respond. They now trail by 10 in the top of the 9th, still only 1 away. They have a chance to build on this thanks to the mercy rule no longer being in effect.
Bucks have hit the ball well. I mean, it is what it is. They've came in and hit the ball well. All the credit to them. There's some things the Miners could have done better, but this Bucks team came in at 16-24, and a lot of that was due to a long losing streak, as there's a strike. A lot of it was due to a long losing streak, but this team has talent, and we thought their pitching depth was a bit slim, but Zach Heaton has done everything you could have wanted out of their bullpen.
They've had big contributions across the board.
They've gotten great starting pitching, really, as well.
This one's going to be shot down. Wolf manages to get there, as it was a bit of an odd play, but they do get the second out. They have the runner at second, but 2 away.
As an unassisted 3, Wally thought about throwing that over to second. Thought against it, held it. Mactoff moves up to second, and now it's Diego Vaquero, who's 1 for 5 today, but he had a sacrifice fly his last time up.
No sac fly this time around. He's going to have to put something in play. Vaquero facing off against Wolf before the Miners get another chance to take their hacks and save their season. This one's sent into center field. That's where it'll be put away.
Donovan able to make that catch, and now, if you're a believer in miracles, Miners down 10 going into the bottom of the 9th. They're going to need that and probably 3 more on top of that.
If you're a praying man, you better start praying as hard as you can. The Miners down double digits in runs and hits. They're going to need to become a different team in the bottom of this 9th if they want to put together this rally. But nothing's over till it's over. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 9th for a chance to possibly witness that history. season comes down to this. Miners down to their last 3 outs in order to stay alive here in the top of the World Playoffs.
Tyler Wilson, the first to come in, down 10. They only have 3 outs to work with. So they're going to have to send basically 4 guys to the bags for every out. So they're strike 1 to tie. He's in the midst of a struggle today at the plate, 0 for 3.
He swings away here. No one's going to throw away these at-bats regardless. They know they count, and they probably care to take them for every personal reason you would want to. They've put in the hard work to be here. They deserve to take the chance.
There's a ball in the dirt. Or Wilson, rather, working it back to 1 and 2. Bucs will advance to the title game, or the championship round, presumably. It'll be interesting to see who they throw.
This one gets down. He makes a nice sliding grab, but can't keep it in the glove when he stands up.
It's probably a base hit all the way.
It was going to be tough regardless, but they do get a man on to start the inning. Could be the start of something great, but regardless, a man on in any inning is a better start than not.
Patrick Donovan steps in now. He's had a tough day, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
He's not alone in that regard. Plenty of his minor teammates joining him with that 0 for any stat line.
Bottom of the order today has not done what it did the first couple of games.
This one's set in the foul ground, and it's going to stay there, not coming back into play.
That first few games of the series, the bottom of the order was able to produce a lot, but it's a lot to ask for him on a day-in, day-out basis. And today, just in those bottom, I believe, yeah, the bottom 4 in the lineup have been on just twice.
Donovan swings away again. It's going to be another foul ground. This time, Vaquero has a better chance, and he's still not going to get there as he almost dives into his own dugout.
Hey, he would have dove in the gravel. Probably not the smartest thing to do up 10 runs. Decides against it. You got to give credit to Cole Moore, too. He's caught the 2 wins the Bucs have had. He's had an outstanding repertoire behind the plate. The Miners have only tried to steal 1 time on him. And Patrick Donovan in that steal was thrown out. He's got a fantastic arm.
He's thrown out pretty easily as well. Donovan is going to be rung up on strikes. There's 1 out.
Back to the dugout goes Patrick Donovan. 2 more outs. Ricky Nunez into the box.
And it's actually going to be a pinch hitter is Mike Ferreira. Looks like he's going to be getting a hack here. If they're going down with the ship, they're going to give everyone a chance to save it.
Ferreira started game 1. Did not play yesterday, but he'll get a chance to hit here.
Ferreira will take a swing. And he does just that. This one stayed in fair ground for a while, but eventually rolls back into foul.
Looked like he fouled off his foot a little gimpy in the box as it's 0-1. Nothing can be taken away from the Miners, although their postseason goals are likely to fall short of what they wanted. They did win a regular season title for the first time since 2017. So nothing to hang your heads too much about, but at the end of the day, it's just baseball. It's just a sport.
This one, it's going to be awkwardly bounced over to third. They get the throw across for the second out. But now the Miners down to their last out of the 2021 season.
David Bermudez getting a chance now. This will be his 4th at-bat today. 0 for 3 with the strikeout as he stands in the Miners' last hope. Been a really tough one today. The Miners, like I said before, it's hard to believe that they were winning at one point in this game by a score of 3-2, but it's been 11 straight runs for the Bucs.
Starts them off with ball 1. I can't think of a more fitting person if this is the final at-bat for the Miners.
David,
take this.
He's been the heart and soul of this team all year. Plays great defense. And without him, they probably wouldn't be in the position they were in the playoffs. I mean, they really struggled at shortstop before he arrived. He got here and immediately became one of the best defenders in the ABL.
Completely underappreciated as well. His batting may have made him completely underappreciated just for how talented he is. 1-1 count to Bermudez. Make it 2-1.
If it could get to him, Holden Breeze in the on-deck circle. And this team, you got to remember, they have lost 9 guys this year to injuries. 9. They've had to bring up some guys to help fill spots, but a lot of those spots have been just left empty, and they've still battled.
That one manages to get through, and
just a little bit foul. Yeah,
okay.
That's the reason. That's the reason it got through.
There seems to be no hustle from Tyler Wilson.
That's the reason it got through. Right on the line, but just a little bit foul, and the Miners are down to their final strike of the year.
2-2 count to David Bermudez. Simply hoping to hold on for life and keep it going in what's a long shot dream at the moment. But this team was not going to go quietly into the night. Take a timeout to step outside the box. Gets ready. Keaton hasn't moved. He's been ready to take this throw. Simply waiting on Bermudez. Now he's ready. The throw is not strike 3 like it could have been, but instead we'll go to a full count. Why not add some more drama to what's already been a very interesting broadcast?
3-2 on Bermy.
Here's the pitch. That one inside. Ball 4. He'll take a walk. The Miners are going to keep it going.
Walking down to first base, Holden Breeze, who's in the midst of an 0 for 4, will stride in.
They prolong their season by a batter, and they buy some more time for themselves. Holden Breeze steps into the box. Breeze doesn't take that one. Strike 1.
0-1. On deck is Casey Rother. Tough close to a really good year. Strike 2. Down to the last strike.
He's hit that sweet spot on the low and away corner. Holden Breeze. Can he hold off the end of the season just a little bit longer? He can on a foul ball, but for another pitch.
Just got a piece of that. Stay at 0-2.
Holden Breeze is likely more focused than anybody right now. He wants to not be the final out of this season. Here comes the pitch. That one high, ball 1. Adding some drama. It's going to take a lot of walks to tie up the score, but anytime they aren't getting out, they're keeping their chances alive. This one fouled away.
Continues. They won it, 1-2 once again. 5 pitches this at bat for Holden Breeze.
That one not getting any favor, 2-2. The second time we've seen a pitch like that could have ended the game.
Very close pitch.
So we'll do 2-2. There's the end of the game and the end of the season for the Miners.
The Bucs come in today and take Game 3, and they will go to the top of the World Championship. All the credit to them. They came in today and put up a show on the scoreboard.
They came in and played like the better team. Hit better, pitch better, and simply looked better across the board. Because of that, they're moving on to the championship, but the Miners made it a close series. Stole Game 1, made it interesting throughout Game 2, and now they get a chance to end their season a little early.
Yeah, regular season champs, nobody can take away that 29-11 record this regular season away from them. Came up short, but at the end of the day, they still are the regular season champs. So the Bucs will go on to play the Pilots. It'll be interesting to see who wins that series, but we're done.
I'd bet on Anchorage.
Yeah, Anchorage is going to win one way or another.
But thank you so much for everyone who's joined us, not only today, but this entire season. Thank you to the Miners organization, Pete and Denise Christopher, and everybody who's tuned in. You guys have meant so much to this team this season, and we couldn't thank you enough for being a part of it. So, for one last time, this is Sean Neath alongside Reese Lannon, signing off for the Matsu Miners. Thank you, everybody.